We are mere days away from the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, Sin City. Welcome, everyone, to Off the Mat. Tonight, we're doing things a little differently. We're not going to have a recap of last week. We're not going to have spotlights. We're just here to talk, stand and deliver, and WrestleMania, giving you our predictions and thoughts on what's going to happen. Of course, Styx has got his points game. As always, for our special PLEs, I want to say what's up to my panel. Thanks for joining us tonight, Pete.
Absolutely.
Stay these PLEs, huh?
That's it.
WrestleMania weekend, boys. What are you most looking forward to? What match do you think is going to take the weekend?
I think, you know what? I'm looking forward to the Roman Punk and Seth match because there's a lot of stake there. You know, it started. I wasn't really fond of it in the beginning, but as it went across the nights and I kept seeing it, I'm more intrigued with that now because there's a lot more elements and more layers to that match now than before. So I'm intrigued to see if the crazy theories and people that are coming up with all these theories and what's going to happen really come into form, because I think that's going to be a very interesting match. But I think the match that's going to dominate anything when my boy Dirty Dom wins the Intercontinental Championship. That's it. It screws Finn Balor. That's all that matters. Telling you, Dirty Dom, son.
We'll see.
That theory is growing more and more on me. That theory is growing more and more on me, Don. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But Styx, what about you?
I'm really looking forward to, the buildup has been piss poor, but I'm still looking forward to the Cena Cody match. I'm interested to see which way they go, what they give. If Cena gets his 17th, or if they're going to make him wait and win it somewhere down the line, SummerSlam or whatever. The buildup has been horrific to this match, but I'm still looking forward to it. That's the match I'm looking forward to.
Pete, what are you looking forward to in this WrestleMania?
I'm looking forward to Jacob Fatu walking out with a belt. You know what I mean? But I'm also looking forward to the triple threat match, actually. The girls. I think the Io, Rhea, Bianca match is going to be much better than people expect.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, what am I most looking forward to? I think Cena potentially winning 17 is very intriguing.
It is.
I really think that sneaky stealer of the show could potentially be AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Yeah,
could be.
Like, it could be a sneaky
stealer
of the weekend.
Drew and Priest could also just put on a show too.
They could.
Street fight. The Sin City street fight could take us some interesting places.
Hey Matt, do you think that the AJ Styles and Logan Paul match at Karrion Kross will interfere?
I do, yes, and I think that Karrion Kross is interesting. Like, someone was telling me that Karrion Kross, that was his first match on Raw since like September of last year.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Eddie's in his hometown.
He's been in the backstage the whole time.
Yeah.
Or just standing on the side while AOP was doing stuff, and he just was on the outside of the ring.
And you know what sucks? And his contract's over in a couple of months. So I don't know, man. I like Karrion Kross. And look, they brought back his old theme music this week, which they brought him back. Yeah, he lost, but there's a reason why he lost. If you watch the backstage, the backstage, like I think he was talking about when they had the interview in the backstage, and he talked about the fact that he needs AJ Styles to win. It's all for the people back here. Look, me personally,
I mean, he put his hands behind his back when he took the
phenomenal
forearm.
I know. I just think.
I mean, I know we're not recapping, but
I know. I know, but I'm just saying the fact that he is a big, there's something more that they need to do. I think he's really a good, he's a good heel. Like he's that devil on the shoulder. I like that. How he manipulates all the guys in the back. That's awesome. Now you put him back in fighting and have the same thing. You could have
That's weird because he didn't seem like he was a great talker when he was on NXT. He just seemed more like the quiet type and just shows up. And
I think it was a different gimmick.
Like, he just had TikTok and that was it.
So for extra points in Stick's game, yes, I think Karrion Kross is going to be part of it, but I think it's going to be Logan Paul and WWE seem to be about all these viral moments. Even if, regardless of what you want to believe with Triple H saying this week and him going off comments and saying like all these internet trolls and wrestling commentators and wrestling critics and all that online, or shut up and talking shit about everybody. They're all about the viral moments. So I don't care what they say. So Logan Paul's going to have that viral moment spot. I think it's going to be similar to the last couple of years. We've had somebody in a prime bottle, right? What if that somebody in the prime bottle turns out to be Karrion Kross?
True.
And he gets involved in the match.
That would be something.
Yes.
I think it's a good spot for Kross. Have him be in the prime bottle.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be like ISHO Speed or something, even though he said he was never coming back to WWE after he got the life spirit out of him. Just Karrion Kross in the prime bottle, I think would be fantastic.
Not his brother. You don't just put Jake in there.
I mean, his brother would be good too, but I think it would be a lot better if it was Karrion Kross in the prime bottle to get that viral moment or something.
Now I'm gonna be staring at that person's legs and be like, I don't know whose legs are those. Who's wearing them in those tights?
Did they skip leg day? Did they not skip leg day? Who's in there?
Exactly.
But before we get started, we're going to talk about Stand and Deliver, of course, and give our predictions on that and night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. I want to ask you guys, do you feel like, because this year's WrestleMania is later in the month, usually WrestleMania is the beginning of April. Do you feel like this card benefited from the later dates for WrestleMania, or do you feel like it hurt this card?
Well, can I go first? Would you mind? Go first. I actually think it was better being late this year for this card, because I think this card is not as good as cards in the past. There's a lot of matches that people are like scratching their heads with and not understanding why these are certain cards that are done.
Hey, Dub, what's up?
I really think that later in the month benefited because they had more time for more of the interaction with a lot of the people who were fighting.
But if it was earlier in the month, like you say, it was like April 1st or the beginning of the month, could we have still had KO? Could we have still had Randy and KO at that point?
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe. But KO, I think, found out. I think after KO got friggin' slammed on that damn ladder, I think that's when he kind of knew something was off.
That's what I suspect.
Yeah.
No, I knew he knew something was off, but
because
he
noticed all the interactions that he had, he rarely got involved. Like he was there and they kept missing. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like a really one of those moments where you get the guy and you start beating the crap out of him, like they usually do. He kept getting away. He kept sneaking out like little. So I think later in the card we actually found out that his neck injury was more severe. Kind of. Now the sad thing is that Randy is in that crossroads. You know, it actually kind of benefited Randy too in a way if you really think about it. Because if it happened prior, Randy, you know, he could have had an interaction with somebody else. But I think now you might, actually it kind of screwed. I'm sorry, I'm going to reframe that. It kind of screwed Randy. No, because think about it, because now you have to rush a match with Randy.
You don't have to.
It would have been a quicker turnaround, yeah.
Dubba says, I think there was too much time between Chamber and Mania. It stretched out the build up too much.
A little bit. I mean, think about how long it seems like people have been complaining about Jey Uso winning the Rumble. Like, it feels like it's been forever.
And I think that's one of the feuds that hurt because at this point, up until Monday, I had stopped caring about this feud because it got cold. And
same thing with Charlotte. Charlotte and Tiffany.
Well, Charlotte and Tiffany, that's a different beast altogether, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that also was killed by the long stretch.
And
they could have easily sped up the triple threat Punk Roman thing. Like, yes, we got some good stuff the last few weeks, but they could have just done it sooner. We haven't seen Cena in a couple of weeks, it seems like, right? Let's St. Patty's Day, it feels like. So, not losing much there.
Yeah, and then it came out last week, oh, he's going to be in Seattle. Then it was, no, he's not going to be in Seattle. He's going to be in Vegas now. So, we'll see what
tomorrow.
Man, that feud too, like, for me to care about that feud again, like, I think Cody needs to be left laying and bloody and us questioning if he's even going to make it to night 2 of Mania to really get that feud going again.
Yep.
As that one's cooled off a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Sticks? Do you think it benefited from the delay this year, or do you think it hurt it?
No, I think it hurt it. I think there's too much time. Like Pete said, like we had the winner of the Rumble going to Mania. Well, that was like feels like 3 months ago, and it really was because we're at the end of April. So I think there was way too much time between things. Things definitely cooled down. Some things never even heated up.
That is also true.
That's true. That's definitely true.
The way they've been doing their PLEs lately has been everything's been like within the last week we're getting matches set for that PLE, and this really is no different. We've had a couple set up since a couple PLEs ago, and now just like within the weeks, even with Stand and Deliver.
At least they're giving us more matches though for Mania.
They're giving us more matches, but it's all stuff that's happening within the last couple weeks.
Do you think The Rock has anything to do with that? Because if you look at WrestleMania last year in that behind the scenes doc they released, Triple H said that he had Mania planned in like November, December of 2023. And now this year we're days away and we could potentially still have another match added on SmackDown tomorrow night. And because we still don't know what's going on with Randy Orton.
Well,
how much of that do you think that has to do with The Rock and whether he's going to be there, he's not going to be there, his schedule, what they had planned for him, and then him coming back and saying, well, I can't do this or I can do this. How much do you think The Rock played into them not being able to finalize this card until like 0 hour?
I would say if they're waiting on The Rock, then they don't know who they want to have in charge, because if The Rock in charge, is Triple H in charge, who's in charge of doing this? Because if you're going to let one person sway the whole enchilada, you're lost.
Yeah. I feel like I'm worried that they don't exactly know where they're going with some of this, which concerns me because think of last year. Even though it's not like The Rock was showing up on every show. Yes, he did show up on a couple of shows leading up to Mania, but it was more what he was doing social media-wise, keeping people interested. He was posting about this, that, the other, talking trash on his own IG. We haven't heard him since Elimination Chamber. We've heard nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
Cena hasn't talked to him about him.
Cena hasn't mentioned or talked about him or anything.
No.
Do they know what the connection is? Do we know? Do they know?
I don't think they do. I think they knew there was supposed to be a connection, but nothing ever transpired. Nothing ever came out of the feud.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I think, as much as I don't want to say, I think there was a little panic mode with this year's Mania because of all the lackluster ticket sales and the expensive ticket sales that actually it's freaking sold out. A lot of people they couldn't afford it.
Yeah, it's
they were priced out because the prices are too high.
Yeah, it's like Super Bowl.
Yeah, and The Rock is still doing movies. Oh yeah, he's promoting the other movie he just did about the UFC fighter that he's doing that movie. He was doing Moana 3, doing some shoots with that too. He had to go back to that. I know he had something else, but at the same time, you're right about social media thing when he was going off on social media and keeping people posted and all these things. People were like, "Oh wow, this is very intriguing. I like this." You know,
Mama Rhodes.
Exactly. This year, kind of like I said, panic mode. Things were pushed. You know, some things did benefit for the pushback. Some things didn't benefit. Look, the crazy thing is that you got WrestleMania falling on Easter Sunday, Passover, spring break, Formula One, and Star Wars Celebration.
Formula One.
Formula One is I'm just saying, but that's a big sport that people watch.
It's 420.
Okay.
And it's 420, so we have a lot of high Easter bunnies going on back and forth. We all know that. But
smoking their Easter grass.
Exactly, Easter grass.
It's the official start of spring.
Yes. But
right.
I think that all those things combined, there's so much more for people to concentrate on. Yeah, they'll watch WrestleMania, they'll watch it, but I don't think they're going to be fully invested in it. And the card shows why they won't. There's some matches that people will definitely be invested in, but the other matches, they're like, I really don't care. I'll just do this and I'll.
All right, so Dom, you brought it up. You brought it up again. Ticket sales for WrestleMania, as of yesterday, Saturday, have only sold 51,373 tickets out of possible what 72,000 tickets.
And that's not surprising because I feel like Saturday is the weaker of the card, the 2 days. Saturday is the weaker of the 2 days, I think.
Sunday has only sold 53,072 tickets.
So so there you go. So
you're 20,000 seats short at that number. If you go with a 72,000 with the floor seats, if that's what's going to add up into.
Well, here's the easy thing that they can do. It's Vegas. They can fill those seats. They give
100%
people there. Bad thing about it, that it being in Vegas, since a lot of people were priced out by how these prices were, you're just not going to make plans to go to Vegas. Like Vegas ain't an easy place to get to unless you make plans to fly there.
You're already there.
It's got to be a trip.
Yeah, you got to be.
I've been keeping eyes on tickets because it's a short 4-hour drive for me. So
you got 4 hours. That's easy.
Yeah,
that's like going to New York City for me. Yeah,
or it's a half-hour flight, and I was like, I could just fly in and out for one day, go to Mania. But still, tickets are still expensive.
I don't think I can do it.
Hotel prices are expensive, and it's just like I don't want to spend $200 to sit up in the nosebleeds and have them look like
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Stay home and watch it on TV and have a great view of the show.
That's what I had to explain. I've been explaining to my son. He's been begging for SummerSlam because I think SummerSlam's going to be, up in North Jersey or whatever. So he's like, "Well, we can go," and I'm like, "Buddy, no. I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars to sit all the way in the nosebleeds. Like, do you realize how small the ring is going to be from where we are?
Yep.
I'd rather watch this at home. I'd rather take that money and spend it like when we went to NXT and we were right there next to the announcers. Like, I want to spend the money and be close to something.
You see, and it sucks because wrestling's an all-time high right now. We all know that wrestling is hotter than it's ever been. And as The Rock puts it, wrestling's cool again, as he put it, and now you have people. Come on, how many podcasts are out there of what we're doing right now that are doing wrestling? There's more than ever before. I have never seen some of the people I've never seen before all of a sudden got a podcast.
Yeah. I was gonna say, let me top that. How many people you've never seen talk about wrestling before are now talking about wrestling?
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. And the thing that sucks the most, that the biggest viral moment was John Cena turning heel. We had people that never talk about wrestling were talking about it, and people are posting stuff. All these other crazy was, and then it subsided. The entire thing.
Crickets.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes no sense. So there's obviously, me personally, I think there's something behind the scenes that creative. There could be some creative differences behind the scenes on how they want to go through things. And look, I'm not saying that Triple H is doing a bad job. Triple H is doing a great job, but the job he's doing is not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, even though Vince McMahon's a nut job and the way he was, Vince McMahon was a visionary when it came to a lot of things. He made things. He pushed the card, the agenda. He pushed the card out. He changed things the last second and changed things up.
That's not always a good thing.
I know it's not always a good thing.
No, it's not.
It's not. But I'm just saying the whole fact is that some of the stuff that Triple H is doing is kind of questionable on booking and.
But how much are you putting on Triple H, and how much are we kind of waiting on The Rock? Like,
Right.
Well,
Look,
here's what I think it is, and I thought about this the last couple of days. I won't lie. I was sitting in the shower the other night, and I was thinking about this. We talk about, like, we were talking about it last week, how this card's coming together at the last minute, and I think us as wrestling fans now in the Triple H era, we have to get past the idea that we have set in our mind that the WrestleMania is the culmination of everything, and it's where stories end, and then the Raw after WrestleMania are where stories begin. New stories begin. I think in the Triple H area, stories are going to go through WrestleMania and continue on. So I don't think WrestleMania is the definitive end of storylines anymore.
no.
And just like, I don't think with whatever happens, I don't think it's the end of the Tiffany Charlotte stuff. I don't think it's going to be the end of John Cena Cody. It's not going to be the end of LA Knight.
I think the
and Jacob
bloodline
Fatu.
will come back. The bloodline storyline will come back again.
WrestleMania 39 was just the build up to get them to 40. I mean, you think about it.
Look,
Right.
you know
So
that we sit here and then we talk about wrestling, and every year is always bigger, better. You know, when it comes to a WrestleMania moment, and when it comes to the things that we want to see and the things that we don't want to see, but we have no choice because it's there.
Vince McMahon was a visionary in maybe 1982.
Yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to certain situations, this is the biggest this is the biggest show in wrestling. Everything should be big in this. Like the cards, the bookings, the feuds. Overall, everything should have a huge dominance when it comes to this. The Super Bowl, the World Series, the hockey championship, all
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Stanley Cup. Yeah, I mean the NBA championship. I'm sorry, Stanley Cup. You know, and it should have more of like a pull. And I understand that they're working what they have. Like I think the plans with the freaking Wyatt Six, I think those plans fell through because they were off trend, and I think they had big plans for them for WrestleMania, leading into WrestleMania, and they had to change plans because listen, Alexa Bliss, she was supposed to have big plans, and she hasn't been seen on a show since Elimination Chamber.
There's a lot of people who have plans. There's a lot of people who aren't going to be on the show. I mean, they got a lot of talent these days. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, I think at some point we're putting a little bit too much pressure also on the idea that everything's got to be huge, because it could still be a great show, and we just have to watch it to see it. You know what I mean? Like there could be surprises and things in store that they can't spoil. You don't want spoiled, like by knowing the outcome of everything. So I think we just got to let this play out before we start making judgments on it.
Well, one of the things we were talking pre-show, why aren't the women's mid-card champions?
Well,
Why is Lia Valkyria in a match with Bayley when she has an Intercontinental Championship she's defending? And why isn't Chelsea Green? Why is Chelsea Green in a tag match or whatever on SmackDown and not defending her title on Mania?
yeah.
Even if it was on Stand and Deliver, because she likes to wrestle in NXT apparently too. So
Yeah, they're mishandling those newer titles. They are.
And it's sad because there's a lot of girls in the back that could have had easily a title match against them to get those belts, which would have been really good. And those would have probably been the best card in the show. You know,
Well, it's possible, but also at the same time, I can also see the aspect of, well, will it draw? Like if we have every title being defended, there's going to be matches where people go, all right, I'm going to go get a snack. Like this is the one I skip. But don't then put your Intercontinental Champion, Women's Intercontinental Champion in a tag match, because that's just pointless.
well, let me ask you this, and this is a hot take, and get your opinion on it. It's time to do away with the women's tag team titles.
Yeah, you're not going to use them.
It was well, not just that, but how many women legitimate tag teams are there? Like, we're just throwing people together now. So now that we have these 2 mid-card titles, the women's tag team titles need to go away. Like, they're really only now.
One.
Well, and then you have the Bella Twins if they come back, but there's only.
I'm only going to give it to what do you call it? The NXT girls, the girl from Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah,
they're the only real
Carter or whatever.
They're the only tag team that's just a tag team.
Yeah, and so now you're just throwing people together. Why don't you just get rid of those titles and have the women's division going after the 2 mid-card titles in the championship? The tag team titles just don't work.
At this point, I'll put this one further. We probably don't even need 2 men's tag team titles because the Raw tag team titles just seem pointless. Like, who's even challenging them? It's just the New Day. And then you've got LWO wrestling American Made like every week. Like, that's all. They have 4 tag teams. Like, at least the SmackDown side, they're keeping it interesting. Like, I've been on board for what they were doing, and then they're not even defending their goddamn belts at Mania. They're just putting the War Raiders and New Day on the card.
Yeah, they're defending them on SmackDown.
You're not gonna have New Day.
Yeah, you're not getting the Street Profits, which they're building, versus Motor City Machine Guns. You're getting that on SmackDown. You're not getting it on Mania.
And Matt, you said that again. Motor City. You always saying like Motor City, but Motor City.
Motor City.
Motor City.
Motor Shitty.
Motor City.
Yeah.
Motor Shitty Machine Guns.
No, what they should do is they should take the women's tag team titles and let an NXT team win them. Let Lash Legend and the Metaphor Girls take them back to NXT and make it NXT tag titles now because there's more women's teams down there. They can do more with it down there. Let them have it.
All right. Well, let's get into. First off, let's start with Stand and Deliver.
Speaking of NXT, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's talk Stand and Deliver. Sticks, tell us a little bit how the points game is going to work for Stand and Deliver.
All right. So Stand and Deliver has got a couple matches that are a little on the extra side, but for the most part, 10 points for picking the correct winner of the match. In matches where there's a chance for multiple pins, you'll get 5 points for each correct pin that you say leading up to the correct winner. And if there's any auxiliary things going on in the match that you want to pick, interference, somebody else joins the match, or, whatever the case may be, anything extra is an extra 10 points because that is something that you have to kind of foresee. It's not something that's already built into the match.
All right. So first up, Sticks has our number 1 contender match: Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Fatal Influence versus Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolin.
Just reading Dom's comments.
I want Gigi Dolin and Tatum Paxley to win this match. Honestly,
what is this for?
A number 1 contenders match.
Against who?
That's a great question. I
want to say teams.
I want to say it's for the tag team titles, but I'm probably off on that.
Shoot.
I don't know.
Maybe they're listening. Maybe they're thinking about what I've been telling you. Let NXT have the women's tag titles.
I think it might be for the tag team titles.
It's not bad though. Paxley and Gigi Dolin actually were a better team than I thought they were going to be.
I just love me some Gigi Dolin.
Yeah. Gigi Dolin.
Yeah, but if not them, then I'm still on for Lash and Jakara Jackson taking the belts back down to NXT because I can see them winning.
Yeah, it's a number 1 contenders fatal 4-way elimination match.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez are both going to get called up to the main roster.
I think they're going to break up. They're not going to.
Well,
end up having a feud.
Roxanne will. Cora still. Actually, Roxanne still needs some mic work, but Cora needs some more ring work. She's got to get back to where she was
better
before she added the extra assets.
And then she got hurt too.
Carrying.
She hurt her knee.
No, I'm not talking about her knee.
Oh.
I mean,
I know what you're talking about. Her enchantments.
Yeah. But I'm saying during that, but when she was younger, when she was first coming out, she was more.
Yeah. So the winner of this match will go on to face the winner of the tag team match, whoever comes out of the tag team champions at WrestleMania.
Okay, so it is a tag team. So it's for the women's tag team championship.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
Dub kicked it off.
You know what?
Dub says Tatum and Gigi will pin Fatal Influence.
You know, I actually think. Look, I think Roxanne Perez is already in the main roster. She is already. She's there. Cora Jade definitely is a little bit behind and coming up, but she'll be up eventually. I actually give it to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson taking this win because they had multiple times on SmackDown. They have come up. They look pretty damn good in the ring.
They
did, and I think that they're the ones that actually will pin Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, and that's gonna make Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez fight each other and have their own little battle with each other. But Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson is my winners.
Dub's flip flopping now. He's saying Lash and Jakara and Roxanne and Cora.
Hey, come on! I just said that. Come on.
Yeah, I'm jumping on your bandwagon too because I agree with you. I told you that those two were the ones, and I do like your angle that it could cause the breakup battle. One more feud for Roxy before she goes up, for the Prodigy goes up and finish it off with Cora Jade. She could do the Carmelo leaving Trick Williams behind.
Yep.
I'm going Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. As much as I want Tatum, Paxley, and Gigi Dolin to win, I'm going Roxanne and Cora because they are seemingly calling Roxanne up, but they don't seem to have any plans for her yet. So if the winner of this match, if the winner of this match is facing the women's tag team champions, I have a feeling, I just get this feeling that Roxanne and Perez and Cora Jade are gonna get called up together for that reason, and that they are going to be the ones that win this match. Because I think, depending on, I really think I don't want to get into the women's match yet. Give my hand there, but I think there's some potentially really interesting matchups, whether it's Lyra and Bailey or Liv and Roxanne Perez, not Roxanne Perez. Roxanne. No, why can't I think of her name? Roxanne. Why am I saying Roxanne? I don't know. I am so clustered in my head right now.
Grace?
No. Liv Morgan.
Raquel
Rodriguez. Yeah. So there's interesting matchups with both of those, but I think main roster wise,
just stayed Gonzalez.
I don't know, but I think the Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus either one of those two make it a more interesting match than any of the other participants.
I just don't see those two don't have a thing together though. Like they still have their own intros, they still have their own they don't have like a team, like no team song, no team name. Like,
I mean,
they got their thing, even though there's only two of them now, because I don't know what the hell happened to the other two. I know what's his name got hurt there for a bit, but at least they got a team name. You know what I mean?
It is elimination, Dub. You're right. Oh, I get what you're doing. Dub's calling out the eliminations, how he thinks the matches are going to go. But
I don't think this one has multiple pinfalls though. I think this is just one pinfall.
It's an elimination match. It's a fatal 4-way elimination match.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
So there will be 3 pinfalls then.
Yeah. Okay. So
you're right, Dub. My bad.
Okay.
I didn't realize. Okay, there's 3. All right. So
I was just picking the last one.
I think. Okay. So I'll do this. I think that Tatum and Paxley and Gigi Dolin pin Fatal Influence.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson will pin Paxley and Dolin. I think it'll come down to Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. And I think that Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade pick up the win over Lash Legend and Jackson.
All right. I'll say the opposite way. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson will be the winners of Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. After all said and done, it's the same way as it was leading, but just flip-flop.
And I mean, I'll throw this out there. They did, Perez and Cora Jade did come out at WWE Experience today and heckle the crowd for not wearing deodorant and show them all how to put on deodorant. So, yeah, they were.
I did like the Shining when they did the. Didn't they do the Shining twins like outfits when they were a tag team at a previous PLE? They were wearing like the little blue dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Right.
So maybe
vaguely remember that. Yeah.
No, but I agree. I think Paxley and Dolin take down Fatal Influence. I think Roxanne and Cora then take down. No. Yeah. And then Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson will end up winning it. Actually, you know what? Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson is probably pinning both. But they're getting 2 eliminations.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now you're just getting greedy, Pete.
I'm just doing it. They're both going to get 1 apiece.
You might as well go all out, Nolan.
Sticks.
I guess I'll go in order. I also got Tatum and Dolin pinning a Fatal Influence. But I got Perez and Jade pinning Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson with Perez and Jade pinning Paxley and Dolin.
Oh, so you think the opposite, Pete? You think that Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade are going to pick up 2 to win it?
I think they're going to pick up 2 to win it. Yeah. Well,
interesting.
Yeah. I think Perez. I think Dom's right that she's already kind of called up. You're just kind of biding your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if by winning this number 1 contenders match, it would push her to the next PLE for them to have a match. So that's another month or so down the line.
Yeah.
So I think that'd give her plenty of time to and for
just,
them to figure. Yeah.
Backlash?
Yeah. They got not Veterans Day. I'm sorry. That's
Backlash.
February.
Yeah.
Backlash. It'd be a WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, and then
but not for them. Not for NXT.
I just don't know because
No.
who is it? The Roxanne.
Oh, you're saying
Perez?
the winner here will go to Backlash?
Yeah.
Maybe
because they're going to be fighting whoever wins the tag team championship.
But only do 5 matches these days on a regular PLE. They're really going to put the women's tag team belts up as one of their 5.
That'll be an opening. It'll be the opening match, but it would be.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it being more of like an NXT match. Or
it's either an NXT match on the Tuesday or it's a SmackDown or Raw match that they just do that weekend while.
Or maybe Saturday Night Main Event, because Saturday Night Main Event isn't on the 24th of May, so maybe it becomes a Saturday Night Main Event.
That's a better call. I think you got it there.
Very good call.
But like I said, Roxanne Perez, she just wrestled. I can't remember who it was against. Was it on Raw or SmackDown?
Oh, she wrestled Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton, that's right. And she didn't really look good. It was kind of a sloppy, boring match. So is it maybe WWE is going to pull it and be like, okay, we're going to put her with Cora Jade with the in the tag team match for now till she gets a little bit better? Or do they just call her up and throw her in the deep end? Because she didn't look that great against Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, she's like 2'2", freaking 2 feet tall to us.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, she also hasn't probably worked with Tiffany and you know what I mean? Like you got to get used to your dance partner a little bit. Tiffany's on the road with the big team, and she's still down in NXT. She can still put on a show down in NXT, but
but she was having a feud with Bayley. She was in the ring with someone like Bayley. You think she'd be able to step in the ring with anybody at that point?
Dude, she was in Royal Rumble. She almost
won the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
That is true. But also, then you think like when you're in the ring with somebody like Bayley, I mean, Bayley's going to be calling the match. Like she's going to be kind of running the show.
Yeah, I know. But she did look good with Bayley. Like, you know what it is? This is what I think. I think this is what the WWE wants to do now. You know, like you were talking about the tag team championships. They want somebody that's suitable to holding the championships that will be a good look to hold and hold it for a minute. Because I think Liv and Roxanne are going to lose, and Perez are going to lose.
Oh, go! Yeah, stop jumping ahead.
I know. I'm just saying, but they want. Look, if they can bring up 2 people, I think Cora Jade, like I said, is a little bit behind Roxanne Perez coming up. But if they do, and now I'm thinking about what Matt said. You know, you give it to them to come up to the main roster and win the belts with the main roster, or something like that fight and have that, and then they're gonna stay up in the main roster. So there's a good chance that Cora and Roxanne come up at the same time, and you bring them as a tag team instead of singles, and have them work off each other for the time being. Because obviously they are better as a tag team than really single competitive. Well, Cara Jade, she's pretty good wrestling by herself, but they were good when they were together and they fought. They had a pretty good chemistry together, when they got together. But we'll see.
And I think that's why you've seen more of Cora Jade on TNA, because they're kind of using TNA to test the waters of, okay, can she hold her on the main roster with TNA superstars to bring her to the main roster instead of just bringing her to Raw or SmackDown right away. I just get this gut feeling that that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade getting called up. And
why does Roxanne Perez have that smile from the TV, that movie Smile? Like the freaking that horror flick that came out where they keep smiling. He has that look.
This is her women's division.
Yep.
No, I still think, again, I'm still sticking with my Lash legend of Jakara Jackson taking the belts back to NXT, where they will be better suited.
I just think that Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade can work both. They can work NXT and the main title and the main roster.
No, but I think Roxanne's going. I do think Roxanne's going up. I don't know if Cora's coming up yet. I think Roxanne's going to be up by summertime. But I think the tag team belts stay in NXT.
Yeah, you're right.
All I can say is more Cora Jade on our TVs is not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not. Hey,
she needs to bring.
You're telling a man. You're telling a man that loves the assets of NXT.
All right, and we got a 6-man tag match: the D'Angelo family versus DarkState, or did I like to call them the Temu Shield?
My son keeps telling me, he's like, they ruined LFG. I'm like, buddy, they didn't necessarily ruin LFG. I know that guy's there, but that doesn't mean he wins the show. Like, there could be more than one person. I don't think they would ruin LFG that way.
Yeah.
I thought their street fight on NXT on Tuesday was good. Their parking lot brawl, but I don't really care about this match, and I don't really like.
I do care one thing about
DarkState.
DarkState will have a big say in one of the main matches on this stand deliver card, because you're going to find out the person who is the leader of DarkState come stand and deliver. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You will find out. Is it Trick Williams?
It's Mustafa Ali.
Is it Ricky Saints? It's Moose. Or is The Rock's daughter as the leader? Because think about it, a couple of weeks ago when DarkState came out, when they were all in the ring, she's standing there clapping and smiling for some strange reason. So
I don't know.
I still think Trick Williams is leading this group. But
it'd be weird to have a 5. Like, there's already 4. Like a 5th man. Like, so you're gonna have like a 1 single star and two tag, one in a tag team. You can't have 2 tag teams out of the group. Then what's the point of the group?
This group looks like David Otunga and the Crime Time joined Zack Ryder to form a stable. If you're looking at this picture, to me.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name down below was just the bookworm who was trying to get with the Kill Bill girl, like not that long ago. Like, what happened with that story? Like he turned his eyeglasses and his book, for his little, homemade T-shirt mask.
Dubba says the family will beat DarkState.
DarkState.
I agree. I'm taking the family in this match as well.
I think the family will beat DarkState, but there's going to be a big twist. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm going to pick DarkState to win. I mean, you can't have this new faction just start taking losses this early. Like,
you're right. I flip. I'm going to switch.
They're going to do some shady shenanigans.
They can lose through the disqualification.
That's true too.
And still look dominant. So that's what I'm trying to say. What do
you mean they lose through disqualification?
Well, if that swerve, that surprise that we're saying who the leader is,
shows up,
shoot himself, they can lose because that person is going to help them try to win, and they get disqualified.
Well, what good does that do? At that point, you might as well just let it be like a sneaky, quick pin by the D'Angelo family. They win, but then the D'Angelos get a beatdown that shows their dark state is still strong.
You want the D'Angelo family to win because they haven't been really. What have they been doing lately?
Not much. Titles and getting beat up in parking lots.
Yeah. So
speared through walls, speared through randomly placed doors and drywall.
I know. Hey, yeah.
That was weird.
So, yeah.
So Pete has Dark State.
I got Dark State.
Dom, you're going D'Angelo.
Yep.
Sticks.
I'm going Dark State.
Dark State. Yeah, I think I'm also going to take Dark State.
Dubs with the family.
Dubs with the family.
The Familia.
Can't refuse.
I have to go Familia too.
Yeah. Next up, we have the tag team champions, Fraxiom versus Hank and Tank. I think this is a missed opportunity. We could have had a Fraxiom Hardys rematch, and it would have been so much better.
Yep.
And I just don't like Frank and Tank as a tag team. I don't.
What's a good thing because it's Hank and Tank, not Frank.
Hank and Tank.
That's
I'll call him Frank the Tank.
Well, Frank and Tank. I knew a dude named Frank the Tank.
KFC still open?
I knew a guy named Frank the Tank. Actually, Hank. I knew a guy. His name was Hank.
We're going streaking.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm gonna go with Hank and Tank.
I agree.
Really? I don't know because I think that they had some singles matches, of late, and they lost both singles matches, and they lost to the Hardy Boys. I think.
I just think it's time. I think it's time, and I think Fraxiom probably is going to end up on Raw or something to get in the mix there for their tag team action because SmackDown's pretty good, so I think they'll end up being called up on the Raw side of things. Hank and Tank can keep the belts down in NXT.
Yeah.
Dub says Hank and Tank for the win. Where are you at, Sticks?
I don't really like Hank and Tank as a team, quite frankly, at least lately. They've been giving off that too unsure of themselves vibe, and
I think that's the whole setup for it.
Well, that's the whole setup, I know, but I like this. I think this is the one match where there is going to be outside interference, and neither team is going to win. Who's going to interfere with it? I don't know. It could be one of the other tag teams are going
to. The Sean Spears crew.
Yeah.
They're the types that would just try to interject themselves into the mix.
Yeah. So I think that's going to end in DQ with outside interference.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Hardys versus Fraxiom in this match. I wish they would have saved that instead of putting it on NXT Tuesday show. They would have saved that for a Mania. Because you get not a Mania, but Stand and Deliver, because you get the big pop WrestleMania weekend for the Hardys coming back. I'll go. I kind of agree with Pete. I'm gonna go Hank and Tank because I think Fraxiom's gonna get called up to Raw to kind of help bolster the Raw tag team division. As really, again, the only team they have on there is the New Day. So,
and you gotta get American made and LWO to stop fighting each other. That's it.
Is that true? That's true too. But I think American made might be.
You have another guy you can put in the mix with Chad Gable and everybody else over there.
His Luchador crew.
He's only one.
It's only Chad Gable and Americano.
Yeah.
Even Ray. Ray's only got Dragon Lee with him.
Yeah.
The rest of the LWO. Non-masked LWO.
Wink, wink.
Next up, we have our North American Championship. Ricky Stanks versus Ethan Page.
I like Ethan Page. I always talk about Ethan Page. But I think Ricky Saints just won the thing. I think he keeps the belt. But I always say that I like to see the belt change hands off the bat.
And it did. Sean Spears had it for what, a week?
I know. See, I like that.
Yeah.
So, I would say Ethan Page wins the North American Championship with interference from Spears. And he wins the belt over Ricky Saints. But it's not going to happen. Ricky Saints will maintain.
Yeah.
Will maintain the belt.
Saints is keeping the belt, and I would not be surprised to see got his smile back, getting called up to just go back to the big boys again.
But did I tell you that Ethan Page comes up because part of the Rock's stable?
Dom thinks everyone's going to be part of the Rock stable.
Actually, but didn't I say that from the beginning? Because Rock's doing what he was doing, so 10 steps ahead of 20 steps ahead of everybody. So we don't know. But nah. So Ricky Saints is going to take this. He's going to keep it.
Oh, all right. So Dom, where does Hikaliu then install himself here in Stand and Deliver? Because I'm sure you have a rumor of him popping up here on this show. Where does he make his presence known?
I don't know. I'm still working on that.
Dom's dirt sheets are a little cold on that one.
Thinking about, let's get more of these Samoans in here. And get some of the Hawkins.
I think Ricky Saints retains, but it's due to outside interference from Sean Spears. I think Sean Spears attacks him in the middle of this match and leaves both men laying, but I think Ricky Saints retains due to the interference of Sean Spears.
Does the chairman use a chair?
I absolutely think so, yes.
Yep.
He's going to use it on both of them.
Fair. I could see that. That's not all too off base.
Yeah. I've got Saints retaining as well for this match.
Surprisingly, it's taken me a lot less time to be okay with calling him Ricky Saints than I thought it would.
I'm still not used to it.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be Ricky Saints forever for me, and then I'm getting used to calling him Ricky Saints now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something about Saints just doesn't.
Double O says Ricky for the win.
There you go.
Then we have the women's championship match: Stephanie Vaquer versus Giulia versus Jordynne Grace versus Jaida.
Giulia? That's funny. Why's that funny?
Listen, my girl. I know my girl Jaida Parker's not going to win because she's going to wind up going one-on-one with Jordynne Grace because they're going to be going back and forth. Stephanie is keeping the belt, but at a cost of getting her ass whipped by Giulia. And I would love to see that in a bikini and bra match, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I'd love to see this in a G-string match. All this happening, but it's not going to happen.
Mae Young and Moolah back too?
Listen, you have three. Listen, Jordynne Grace
I'm
is.
telling me to listen.
Jordynne Grace is an attractive woman. She's three of the hottest women in the NXT lineup that are all going to be on the same thing ring, all fighting each other. And I want to sit there because this is what
Tom's going to need eye drops because his eyes are going to be so dry from trying to keeping them wide.
Happy tissues or sad?
I've never been so happy before in my life. No, but my girl Stephanie's going to keep it. Definitely keeping the belt. Giulia will win the belt again, but I think they're going to have to because she gave up the North American champion is going to be fighting.
Not surprising.
She's going to keep the championship for a while. Because she's going to have a good rivalry with Giulia. They're going to go back and forth. There's going to be a few matches with them after this.
Double O says Stephanie retains. What do you think, Pete?
I think she retains for now as well. I'm wondering how long we have Giulia down in NXT at this point. I feel like they're doing the almost feels like they're doing the heel turn switch to show us you can play heel. Before you come up, you got to show you can be heel. They did it with Braun Breaker. Before you come up, you got to go heel. They did it with Carmelo. Before you come up, let's see you do heel. And
they're doing that with Trick Williams
they
too.
did it with Roxanne too.
Yeah.
Roxanne's just been kind of stuck
for
a little bit longer down there, but I feel like the Giulia heel turn is here for a little bit, and then
look, I think Giulia and Stephanie are definitely going to skyrocket their way of getting into the main roster eventually, because they're two great talents to be down there. Within next year, they'll be up, both of them.
Yeah,
so,
it's possible. Yeah. I don't think Jordynne Grace will be down there for long either.
Nope. I think that's the whole thing. It's unfortunately Jaida Parker. I love Jaida Parker. That's my girl. But I think that she's gonna they're keeping her down there because
I think she needs to be there for a little bit longer.
For a little bit longer, yes.
More to learn.
Yeah. And when she does come up, it'd be a big thing. But the three ladies, Jordynne, Giulia, and Stephanie, definitely. But yeah, Stephanie's keeping the belt for now. She's gonna have a nice long feud with Giulia for the time being.
Sticks.
Yeah, I agree. Stephanie's gonna retain. Personally, I'd kind of like to see Jordynne Grace get a hold of it, but right now Stephanie's gonna retain for the time being.
I actually think Jordynne Grace is gonna win the North American Championship.
Keep hearing that Jordynne Grace and thinking Braun Breaker's gonna come out.
That's a buff friggin' Carpenter. Friggin' what's her name? What's the singer? Sabrina Carpenter? That's Sabrina Carpenter buffs. Sabrina Carpenter.
Who's a buff Sabrina Carpenter?
Jordynne Grace.
Jordynne Grace.
All right. You ready for my hot take?
Yeah, go
ahead.
Right.
Stephanie loses to Giulia. Giulia wins the title. Next night on Raw, the winner of the women's championship match between Rhea, Bianca, and Io are going to be talking in ring, and Stephanie's going to appear and challenge the women or that woman for a title shot. So I think Stephanie's actually going to get called up because she got the opportunity to choose whether she wanted to go main roster or NXT. She chose NXT. Now I think she's hit the pinnacle of NXT, and she's going to get called up on Raw after WrestleMania. I think Giulia wins.
That was quick, though.
That quick. Yep. Ooh. The women's division is getting it's too overcrowded in NXT now. You got it right here. Like I think honestly, Jaida Parker is the odd woman out in all of this. And
she needs a little bit more time down there anyway.
Well, but not to mention they're building other people too. And the potentially of you have the word that Mariah May might be leaving in it.
Yeah, Mariah May could be coming
AEW coming to WWE.
You still got what's the Australian broad?
Paige. We got Paige coming.
Yeah, Paige
is coming
back. No,
the
Australian girl with she's tagging with Sol Ruka. I can't think of her name. Zarya. We got Zarya still has to do something down there too.
So I think Stephanie coming up to give, because that Raw women's division now is how many times are we going to see the same matches? And now you've got three of the big players. Well, Bianca's technically SmackDown. So you got two Raw players and a SmackDown player going for the Raw Women's Championship. I think Stephanie gets called up and shows up the night after WrestleMania. And I think she drops the belt to Giulia here.
So you would definitely have her come up the main roster with her not really having a freaking feud with Jordynne Grace, or having a feud against like a one and done.
Now they can have a feud. They're both faces.
I know, but I'm just saying, but you one and done with Giulia. Have one match with Giulia, and that's it, and that determines it.
I think the fact that Stephanie was offered the opportunity to choose where she wanted to go tells you that they want her on the main roster. She chose NXT to try to learn English and work on her skills a little bit and learn the WWE system. I think she's done that. She's done that by being double champion. She's dropped the North American Championship. I think she's going to lose.
And she eventually realized that even though Asuka can speak English, your character doesn't need to be able to speak English.
I think Giulia,
right?
But I don't.
You're not ready for Asuka.
I don't think she pins Stephanie to win it. I think she's going to pin Jaida Parker. I think Jaida Parker is in this match to eat the pin. No matter who it is, she's going to eat the pin to the winner. And I think
me personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think that Jordynne Grace and Jaida Parker are going to freaking come out of the ring they're going to disqualify themselves. They're going to be out. And it's going to be left Giulia and freaking Stephanie in the ring. And that's what you're going to see them fight. They're going to fight each other.
Then that could be. But I feel like Stephanie's getting the call up to Raw after Mania. Like it's just this weird feeling I get with the way they're booking this. And we thought that Giulia
you don't think the beautiful madness will just come up and then we'll see a return of Asuka. Kairi Sane will come back and we'll have a Japanese resurgence of women.
Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
No, I just think the way that
I think it's going to happen in.
We had all this talk that Giulia was going away for a while, and Giulia lost the belt because she was injured. Well, she wasn't gone, but
right back.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why she's right back, is because I think Stephanie's going up, and they're going to have her hold that women's NXT title for a while before she gets called up. I think she gets called up at maybe Mania next year or the draft.
You're just saying that you don't have to change the intro of your show where you're showing Giulia holding the.
No, it has nothing to do with the intro of my show. I'm just saying. Right? I think maybe she gets called up, and I think maybe Jordynne Grace gets called up during the draft too. And at that point, those two come up. But I think Giulia is I think Stephanie's the choice right now to come to the main roster. She's ready. I think it makes sense to me. I think she's 100% ready.
That'd be really quick. I know they gave her the offer to come to the main roster or stay in NXT, and she also turned down AEW at the time too. AEW gave her more money, and that the WWE even told her, "Listen, we can't match the money that they give her. You make the best choice you like." And her dream was always going to WWE. So yeah, you're right. Maybe she does go to the main roster because of the way her path is and what she wanted. But I'm still thinking that it's kind of quick for her to win the belt, win both belts, lose the belt, go to the main roster. All right, I seen Stranger Things.
That's not my problem. I don't think it's my problem is that quick. It's just I worry about it being too crowded.
Now, listen, Raw, I'm telling you right now, listen.
Once they start bringing people up.
Yeah, it's going to be look, now that you have the other wrestling thing that's happening that's underneath NXT that they're doing was the what is it? I keep forgetting the name of it.
Evolve?
Yeah, Evolve. Not Evolve, the other one. The one with Ray Dudley and
LFG is just that's more of a
developmental
show.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's below.
But it's a show. Like
it's a show below NXT. But yeah, and Evolves. So I can see them depleting some of the roster because they were talking about Trick Williams going to SmackDown. They were talking about this could be. You're right. Maybe there's going to be a bunch of people that gets depleted from NXT come the draft because the draft is right after Mania.
No, I don't know when the draft is. I don't think they've announced the draft yet.
They have not announced it.
What are they?
I think the draft wouldn't be until after Backlash.
Right.
Yeah. Don't you guys start worrying about like the call-ups, what they're going to do with some of these wrestlers? Like, what's Trick going to do up on the main roster? Like, I like Trick Williams, but what's he going to do up there? I don't see a place for him. Like, they already made Carmelo like Ricochet 2.0. They just said, you know what? You're just our Ricochet. You're just gonna go out there, you look good, and just lose. We're just gonna throw you up in matches against everybody.
And heavy tag team with the Miz and heavy tag team with a bunch.
Yeah, and now is the tag team with the Miz. Oh my God, what is this?
Horrible. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah. So you say Giulia. I think
Stephanie keeps it for a little bit longer.
Stephanie keeps it.
I could even see Stephanie going to SmackDown because really, as far as SmackDown women go, once Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton are done, who's in that picture? Bianca's just going to go right from the Raw to challenging for the SmackDown title?
Well, I think she's still going to get in the feud with freaking Jade Cargill and freaking
yeah, you still got Jade Cargill will eventually find herself.
That's true. Well, Jade Cargill SmackDown or is she Raw?
She's SmackDown, but you're gonna find out that that freaking Bianca was the one that orchestrated the whole thing. That's gonna come out.
Nia still has to come back, so
she's gonna come back
in the mix.
Asuka's coming back. Well, Asuka's Monday night, right?
I don't know. Who knows what show she'll be on, but Asuka's got to come back. You're right.
And what's your name's coming back too? Part of the The Nuki Warriors. The
I
Nuki
just
Warriors.
think
The Kanuki Warriors.
Becky Lynch versus.
And that's the other thing is
Stephanie
Becky.
Vaquer
When does
huge.
Becky come back?
I don't know. I just read something about Becky. They said she's saying she's gonna retire. I don't know.
She just said she's not wrestling, which is
She's
true.
not wrestling. But then I read something that she's really considering not coming back. So I'm not sure. She could
Yeah,
pop
but
up.
I feel like that means her return is imminent. Because how many times lately have we had stars say, "I'm not coming back. I'm not doing this," and then they just appear.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there was even one just recently that.
But I'm just trying to figure out a place for her. Like, what is she going to do? I mean, she's got to be on Raw. If she's not going to be away from Seth, they're not going to put her on a separate brand.
Yeah.
And they're not putting Seth back on Fridays.
No. Staying on Mondays.
Tried it. It don't work.
The Monday Night Messiah is staying.
I think they're gonna. Well, I got a theory about Becky
Mania before we get to all
We'll
that.
get there, yeah. But all right, what did you say, Sticks? You said you've got Stephanie retaining.
I have Stephanie retaining. Yeah.
Dom has Stephanie retaining. Pete, you have Stephanie retaining. I'm the only one that
I'm
had
the only one looking at a change.
Giulia taking the title, and Dub had Stephanie retaining also.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we have our women NXT North American Women's Championship. Zarya versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame.
What's friggin' Carmelo?
Why do you only got 4 names with their 6 women?
His girlfriend. Yes, yeah. There's only 4 women.
Yeah.
Sticks, what did you do?
Yeah, where's Thea Hale and
yeah,
and what's her name? Who does the awkward dancing, even though she's a UFC fighter?
Yeah.
Stop doing salsa dancing. It diminishes your street cred as being tough.
Dude, your brain cells. Every time she dances, you lose your brain cells because you're just looking at it like this.
What the hell's her name?
Drawing
a blank. Lola Vice. Lola Vice.
Lola Vice. Yeah.
Did I leave some out here? Let's see what it says.
Yeah, you left somebody out, Sticks.
You left 2 names out.
2 names. It's Thea Hale and Lola Vice. Who are more, I couldn't debate between the 2 of them. Who I think is going to win this ladder match.
Yeah, I did leave off Lola Vice and Thea Hall. Sorry.
I think
it's all right.
wins.
My bad.
I think Zarya wins this match.
Fixed again.
Zarya, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going Lola.
Thanks, Dom.
I love you, Sticks. What's Carmelo's girlfriend? That's what's her name? His girlfriend in real life.
I don't know who's his girlfriend in real life.
The bottom. What's her name? She's bottom right there. She's under Lola Vice.
Oh, Kalani Jordan.
Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan. That's Carmelo's.
I'm not going to give it back to her.
I know, but I don't know. She can. You never know. She can win it again. I'm going with her.
I feel like she's almost ready to come up.
Yeah, that's true too. No, you're right. You know what? Let me change my mind. I'm sorry, because I was looking at that.
She needs to do the heel thing though. Like we need to see. They try to make her.
Well, she is kind of. She is bad now. She's she is bad. You know what?
She's got to do the heel work down in NXT before you get to call up. You got to show you can play both sides.
I'm going with Izzy. Izzy Dame is going to win.
All right.
Izzy Dame.
Spears can't hang on to the men's North American, so she'll take it for the team.
Yeah, I'm going Zarya.
And like I said, I'm going Lola. Who'd you go with, Sticks? Did you tell us?
I have not.
Then who are you picking?
I'd like to say I'm picking the one that looks like Edge in this picture.
Go with Matt.
Zarya.
Sorry. She looks like I looked at it. I thought, is that Edge?
On this day,
I really didn't know who to pick in this one.
Does anyone else have a problem calling him Cope?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the
dumbest goddamn name.
Cope. Yeah, cope with it. You got to cope with it.
Oh.
I'll say Kalani.
Dub's going with Matt.
That's right. I'll throw down and I'll say Kalani Jordan wins this.
Getting it back.
Yeah. I'll say she gets it back.
I don't know. We might all be sleeping on Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could be.
I just think of Street Fighter every time I hear that name. Soruka.
I do. She does have one of the best finishers down there, though. That soul snatcher. That soul snatcher is
the soul snatcher.
It's a good move to watch.
I thought it was a nice snatcher right there. Good snatcher. Snatch. I'm sorry.
Of course, you had to take it there.
Yeah, I did. Whew.
I don't know. You don't think maybe they put the title on Izzy Dame though, since she's dating Braun Breaker?
Maybe.
No.
That's why I say Izzy.
They didn't give Cora a belt just because she was dating Braun Breaker.
No, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay with Zarya. I'm gonna stay.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have the NXT Championship. Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans.
All right. This is a good one. Well, this is where you find out that Trick Williams is going to be the head of friggin' DarkState. That even though he got his ass whipped against him a couple of weeks ago, he's definitely that. He's not winning the belt. I think Obafemi keeps it. He's going to keep it.
No. Well, then what's the point of him having DarkState then if they're not going to help him win?
The whole fact is you're going to find out later on. He's going to.
Why later on? It's a triple threat match. There's no DQs in a triple threat.
Well, you know what? Like I said, you know what?
If he's got a crew behind him, he can use that crew to steal a belt.
But maybe Femi is the leader of DarkState. Maybe you find out that's his group.
Who?
Freaking Obafemi. That he's the leader.
No, he is by definition a lone wolf. Like he won't work as like part of a crew.
And you know what? Maybe we all sleep on Javon Evans. Maybe he's the leader.
No,
I know, but I'm just saying. But I still think Trick Williams. I always had that in my mind that Trick Williams is the leader of that. Well, you know what? Yeah, all right. I think Trick Williams wins the belt because of interference with DarkState, and you find that the DarkState leads him. Would
that be 3? Did he have it twice?
Yes, he's had it twice.
Yeah, he had it twice, right?
So that's what I'm trying to say. It's hard, but the third time's a charm. And then after that, he's coming. But see, he's going to come up to the main roster. He's coming up to the main roster. That's the whole thing, too. That's what I'm trying to say. You know,
I don't think he is. What is he
going
to come up there? He's going to come up there and be the next Carmelo Hayes?
No, but he's
going to tag team with The Miz, too?
And he's going to SmackDown. I don't know. But that's what I'm trying to say. If he stays down, he wins the belt the third time, and you find out that he is the leader of DarkState, it could be much more interesting. And you could have that one more run, and after that, then you bring him up.
What are they going to call their tag team? Tricky Miz?
They are them.
Tricky Mizness instead of Tricky
We
Mizness?
are them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Javon Evans already made reference to he ain't not, to Carmelo Hayes. So
yeah.
I think him getting called up now, he's going to be nothing more than a glorified Carmelo Hayes and be in the mid card.
Yep.
I like Trick. I like Trick. I think he's good on the mic, but realistically, in the ring, he's a little limited in what he could do. I think he still needs a little bit of seasoning. As far as wrestling, like actual wrestling goes, yeah, does his jumping knee, like okay, but we're gonna need a little more if you're gonna be up.
Yeah, I'm going with Dub. I think Obafemi retains.
I think Oba's keeping it, even though I think if anybody's gonna be going up soon, he has the look and size and.
I like Javon Evans because he's got good speed and I feel like he's got a good character going, but he was left standing holding the title on NXT. Usually that means he ain't winning the championship at Stand and Deliver. I think Obafemi retains.
He's only like 20. Like he's still got time.
Yeah. And I still think we'll still see Trick Williams as a leader of DarkState, but I think it'll be after the match is over. DarkState's going to appear and just beat down Obafemi and Javon Evans, and they're not going to attack Trick Williams, and then that's when it's all going to come ahead. that Trick Williams has been with them the entire time. But I think Obafemi retains.
Yeah, because I mean he's been a bit of a jerk lately, but he also still hasn't gone full on like heel Trick.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, you got to do before you get called up.
Where are you at, Sticks?
So I've got Trick Williams winning, with DarkState winning. Like I said earlier, they're going to come in, do the
and help
him. Yeah, I think because when you saw them get beat up at the one, they kind of hesitate on him and then go at him. I think that's kind of the idea where should we get, and he's like, you got to beat me up, boom, and then later on he'll be poised as their leader. So yeah, Trick Williams, and he'll end up coming out that he's the leader of the DarkState.
You got to beat me up. Please don't beat me up. You got to beat me up.
Yep. Got to make it look good.
All right. There we go. That's our NXT Stand and Deliver. Now we're going to move on to WrestleMania. Sticks, tell us how the points game is going to work for Mania.
Mania is a little more straightforward. There's not a lot of multiple pin matches in this. In fact, I don't think there's any. 10 points per match, winner called, pinfall or otherwise. 10 points per any extra call, interference, etc.
All right. And we're going to move on to my slideshow presentation for this, just because I did it a little bit more organized. So I've got it.
Yeah.
Not to say that Sticks didn't do a great job. I'm just saying mine's a little bit more organized.
I'll see myself out.
No, you're fine. We're going to do it by nights. I did it Saturday and Sunday, separated the match by nights, and what I think potentially the match card is going to be, which order the matches are going to go in. So we're going to start WrestleMania 41 Saturday night with our main event. Our opening match is going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. What do you boys first of all think of this match? Think of this feud overall, and who comes out champion?
It's just taking too long to get here. That's all.
Yeah.
Dragged out a bit too much when you think about main event when they faced each other the first time is December, and now we're near the end of April. It's a long feud for not a lot happening in it. You know what I mean? But I think At this point it's inevitable that they're just going to, probably just for a short time, I'm not seeing a long reign for Jey Uso to put that belt on him. I think Gunther is going to move on probably to like a fill-in feud before we get to him moving maybe to the other brand and challenging over on the other side via the draft. So I'm going with Jey.
Well, listen, I've been on the Jey freaking wagon for a long time. You guys know I picked him in Rumble to win.
You did?
You know, the feud really sizzled down. It could have been a great feud. You know, I look at that, and I also look at the Gunther card. He lost to friggin' Sami Zayn last year with the Intercontinental Championship, and now he's going to lose the championship. Didn't make him look weak. You know,
Tom, he doesn't make him look weak when he can stay.
I know.
80% of my time on this brand, I've held a belt.
I know. But listen, I'm going with Jey because of what the crowd, what merchandise, with the overall, the Yeet Nation has put out there. Not giving it to him would be a crime. But there's a slight little freaking little hiccup that can come into play. with this whole thing.
Kaiser?
No.
He's too busy being in Charlotte's DMs.
Yeah, I know exactly.
What? Jimmy's gonna turn on his brother again? You can't have the belt.
No, that Gunther comes out and wins, which really would turn him to the dark side again and make him a heel again.
I think if Gunther wins, everybody like Jey Uso's steam's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
It is gone if he wins. And I feel the fact that if Gunther loses, that takes the steam out of Gunther too, because
I disagree.
Gunther, I think can bounce back from a loss. Easily.
Because look, Jey won the Intercontinental Championship. He held it for 2 weeks and then lost back to Ron Breaker again. So it's going to be a short title run. You're right. Jey wins. He's not going to lose. He's not going to hold on to that belt for a long time. Because what happens is that he wins. CM Punk is taking that belt from him. Because they're going to give it to CM Punk.
Because, well, I'm not saying he won't get a belt eventually. I just don't know if it's going to be that belt and from.
Double O says if Gunther wins, Jey Uso should just go to NXT.
Yeah, he might as well. That
right? True. But I'm giving it to Jey.
But my evolution.
I still have that overall thing that Gunther possibly has a legit chance of really maintaining and really pushing Jey over the edge. On that, I don't see any interference in that. The only interference I do see is Jimmy coming into this.
Yeah, I don't see interference in this match. I think it's
unless Jimmy comes in to help him because Jimmy got dismembered by him. That's the only thing. And then
dismembered.
Yeah, he got mauled. He got destroyed.
He didn't get
dismembered. He had all of his limbs are still
It's not like Gunther ripped his arm off or something.
Yo, he did the Wookiee, like he took off the arm of his
William Wallace treatment where they're putting his arms on each ring post. It's a piece of him.
Nah, but
we're gonna stretch you out, boy.
Jimmy can come out and help Jey win. But if Jey wins, Jey is turning heel. Part of the corporation in a heartbeat.
John just wants everyone to be part of the Rock's organization.
Everyone's
going for the Rock.
I love big friggin' goddamn big groups. The corporation, the Ministry of Darkness, the freaking goddamn Nation of Domination. Come on, man.
Yes, Jey's winning. He's winning on his own. He's going to be on his own. He's not getting help from his brother. He's just going to win it straight up, prove everybody wrong that he could do it. And it's a feel-good story for the night. And then maybe even as quickly as Backlash, it's going to be on somebody else.
It's the opening fucking show. It's the opening match.
Yeah. What opening match? I mean, and Gunther losing the belt, you give him some time. He tried to figure out his place. You give him a couple of squash matches here and there, and then he retires Goldberg at SummerSlam.
Yeah, Jimmy Uso will be bloodied and beaten and pull off the victory without interference. Double O says, Sticks, what say you?
So I've got Jimmy winning. And this is going to be one winning. Of the.
You got Jimmy winning.
Jim.
Jay, I'm sorry. Sorry,
Jim.
Jay. I got Jay
dressed like his brother.
Comes out eating.
They pull off twin magic, and Big Jim actually picks up the win.
No, I got Jay winning. I think this is going to be one of the longer of their matches to get that win. But if there's any kind of interference, it's gonna result in being against Gunther and helping Jimmy. We're not someone to coming in and helping Jimmy win, but someone helping Gunther lose. If that makes sense, it comes out to help Gunther, but end up helping Gunther
Ring
lose.
General doesn't need help.
Yeah, he doesn't. But if it gets at some point, someone might come out. But
we haven't seen in a while. The little Russian dude.
Little Russian dude.
I mean, he's hurt, but I think he might be getting healed soon.
You mean Stroganoff? What's his name?
Yeah, Beef Stroganoff.
Beef Stroganoff. Yeah, Stroganoff. No, he's coming back in September. They already had a
Hamburger Helper just coming out to help Jey Uso win.
Yeah.
Listen, this feud has been hurt I think by the lengthy the amount of time between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
Too much
and
time.
This feud was very, very cold, and it wasn't until really last week that when Gunther, 2 weeks ago when Gunther attacked Jimmy, and then the promo the Home Alone promo Jay cut on Gunther on Raw, and then kind of Gunther came out this past Monday and did what he needed to do to solidify this feud, to help it gain.
I wasn't out of control.
Momentum. Yeah. And it feels like the crowd's no longer with Jay because they're not yeeting anymore. There's not a lot of people yeeting in the crowds anymore. But I think Jay wins this. He's going to win it. I agree. Short title reign. What if he potentially drops the title to like Sami Zayn? What if Sami Zayn turns on him and they don't finish because they still got to go back to this bloodline thing with Sami Zayn? What if Sami Zayn beats him for Sami Zayn's first title? I don't know, but I don't see Jay making it past. I'll give him a little bit. I'd say Money in the Bank with this championship. But I think what it does is it helps Gunther too, because it allows him. We got the more savage ring general ring general, however you want to say it, when he was beating up Big Jim.
The ring general.
So I think him losing to Jay switches something in him, and we get a little bit more of a more brutal Gunther moving forward as he sets his sights on maybe the likes of like Cody Rhodes or John Cena, whoever's going to win that match. But I think Gunther comes out looking stronger for this win, and it gives everybody. It starts WrestleMania 41. This WrestleMania that everybody has been talking about and really criticizing over the last couple of weeks of how weak the card is. It gives you that feel-good moment to start Mania weekend, to kind of carry you through the night, and then allows Triple H to cook from there. So I think Jimmy Uso takes it home, or not Jimmy, Jay Uso.
You got Jimmy too.
Yeah, I'm pulling the sticks. But I think Jay Uso wins this, and everyone in Allegiant Stadium is yeeting all night long after this match.
The one thing I want to say real quick is that for future, like if you're going to have someone win at Royal Rumble or any PLE, really, that match that they're winning into has to be the next PLE. You can't wait 2 PLEs before to have that match. Can we agree on that or no? Or do you think?
No, they've always done the Rumble for Mania. I mean,
I know they have, but it seems
I think this feud would have been better if we waited longer for Jay. Like there should have been a conflict with Elimination Chamber. Like I don't think Jay should have made his choice.
Yeah, they shouldn't have announced it as soon as they did. They could have left it hanging. For
exactly, and I think the fact that he made his choice like 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble, that's
what sapped all the momentum.
Yes,
there was no wondering time.
Well, I think they had to, because if you remember, or maybe you won't, at the Rumble when he was celebrating the win, he says that he's going to be going after Gunther.
Yeah, but you can still pretend. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind.
Well, I think, and then that's what they kind of did. They kind of tried to make it so you don't say that too quickly.
You had The Rock there the night after the Rumble, the first Raw on Netflix. Rock could have tried to influence him a little bit and been like, you know what, you need to avenge the family.
No, well, the Rumble was. Well, here's the other thing. I mean, we're complaining about the Rumble. The Rumble was actually in February.
Yeah, it was the first February 1st.
First weekend in February. It's like Groundhog Day or whatever.
But you could have had The Rock influence him some way and been like, if you win the Rumble, you need to defend the family. You need to get back to what's ours. Instead of having John Cena sell his soul and going the Cody Rhodes sell your soul angle, he could have been playing up Jey Uso and be like, you need to defend the family. You need to get retribution. You need to get back what's ours. And even then after that, you could have had The Rock play a little bit into that too, even if it's over the phone or through Instagram promos, like we said before, or anything like that. And so it could have had Jay swaying of, do I do what's best from the family, or do I do, just me, Oos, and do what I want to do? and go after Gunther, and he sways back and forth to where he finally chooses Gunther at Elimination Chamber. And you could have had this buildup of
Elimination Chamber, right around then.
Yeah. Or, but even after Cena wins Elimination Chamber, you could have had this back and forth of, Cena saying, oh, I'm going after Cody. You still haven't do the heel turn, go after Cody, all that. And then Jay could be like, well, and then you have some sort of conflict, which keeps it interesting.
How would they have explained that, though? Would it be like in the NFL, if you don't put your pick in on time, the next guy gets to do pick first?
Yeah, or just like the Rock.
Like if the Rumble winner doesn't announce their pick, does the Elimination Chamber winner get to pick first?
But I mean, you could have built more of, okay, the Rock's trying to push Jey Uso out now because he wouldn't make his choice. So now he chose Cena, and Cena's going to go after Cody. It's a Rock, it could have given, I don't know, some sort of conflict that would have made this more interesting than this months of boringness we got up until the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. You could have gotten the whole Jimmy gets bloody at Elimination Chamber, which forces him to pick Gunther.
Yeah. 2 months is a long time to build with no matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like to build towards a fight, there you can only do how many beatdowns can you do in that? How many we'll do a contract signing as one of the weeks, and
how many times on the mic can you stand there?
Yeah. But that gives you in that scenario. I'm coming what though, too. That gives you both Cody has someone to work off of because Cena was only on TV for 3 weeks.
I 100% agree with you. I think you're right. Because then without announcing, you can play I can play on this show and that show. We can keep people guessing for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
I mean, you could have ultimately still had Gunther beat up Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, and that's why Jay chose Gunther instead of Cody. You could have done it multiple ways other than what they did it, because I just feel like you said, that buildup wasn't there, and 2 months is a long time to try and build this show, and you have this make people care about this feud, and they didn't care about it until the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Do we all pick? We all picked, right?
I believe so.
All right. Up next, we have the tag team match of why is this even a tag team match on WrestleMania? The SmackDown titles aren't on WrestleMania, but the Raw ones are. We have the War Raiders versus the New Day.
Okay. The New Day is going to win. And they're going to win because Big E is going to come out and help them win. It was all the ploy for Big E to freaking goddamn.
What?
Big E.
Nope, they're going to bring back Odyssey Jones.
Yeah, Odyssey Jones. They're going to win.
He got cleared.
Because they want New
He
Day
did get cleared. That's true.
So I'm giving it to New Day.
Tom's going New Day. Where are you going, Pete?
I'm going New Day as well. Only because as much as I have enjoyed the War Raiders or Viking Raiders, but I just feel this run has been flat, and we just need to kind of mix things up at this point.
Weren't they better in NXT? Wasn't he better in NXT? The freaking the getup he's doing now with the biker gang type of stuff.
Well, the problem with the biker gang thing is I feel like Judgment Day is doing the biker gang thing. They're doing the biker gang thing. Everybody can do the biker gang thing.
It's like they gave them their name back, and then they lost the Viking persona and just went like Hell's Angels almost.
Yeah,
it's just they look by extension part of Judgment Day. They all got their cuts on. Yeah, I don't know.
They're like the Dead Man when he came back at the Harley Davidson.
American Badass.
American Badass. But
who you got, Sticks?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of New Day, but I do have New Day winning for the reason that it was said that War Raiders have been getting kind of flat lately and need a little injection into the belts. So have them win. They can feud with a lot more people, I think, than the War Raiders have been. So New Day wins. New Day wins. No Big E. Big E is not coming out.
Yeah, no Big E. If anything, it's Odyssey Jones.
Yeah.
He actually won that lawsuit.
He did win that. Yeah.
So he could come back. You're right.
Yeah, I see everything in me wants to see Viking Raiders with a Big E costing the New Day the belts, because we still have that Big E payoff. I don't think Big E's going to help him win. I think if anything, Big E would come out and cost them the belts. But I feel like the way this match came together and the fact that it is on WrestleMania, I feel like the New Day is probably going to get the win. Because I agree, the Viking Raiders are just kind of stale.
Yeah, you got to get the heat. You get to the team with the heat, and
New Day wins.
A chase for somebody.
New Day wins and get drafted over to SmackDown.
When your biggest feud is with American Made, it doesn't really look that good.
Well, there's been no direction for these two. Oh. They were on. They had the big, heel turn with Big E, and then they were off TV for weeks, and then all of a sudden they're in this feud with LWO
because Ray won't let them go in the dressing room.
Yeah, because of Ray, and then now they're weaseling their way into this title match with the Viking Raiders, or War Raiders. I just think that they're gonna give them to the New Day, and but I could see Big E getting involved in this. I don't think it's gonna be to help New Day. I think it's gonna be to cost them. But I don't know. Last time I thought Big E was gonna get involved in Royal Rumble, he never came back. So I'm gonna just say they're gonna beat the Viking Raiders, and New Day's gonna retain, or New Day's gonna win. And New says New Day went for the win. Yeah.
Yeah, but point being, this should not be on the card.
No, this should have been on Raw, not a Mania. And it's so weird that 2 nights that the Raw championships are on WrestleMania, but the SmackDown ones aren't. If I was the Street Profits, I would take that as a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is one of the matches I was saying. They kind of threw it in there last minute.
Yeah, there's no build, nothing for this at all.
Again, and it's for the New Day. It's not for the War Raiders. It's for the New Day.
Yeah,
which is why they're going to get the belts.
You get them whining in the back. We want a match. You got to win here.
It's your.
Well, they did. They went to Aldis or whoever.
Adam Pearce.
Adam Pearce. And then, we need a match.
You're relying on your stars. It's the same reason why you have a makeshift team that has Bayley in it. So this way, Bayley has something to do with Mania, because they didn't have a program for her, but Bayley gets to be involved in Mania. Same thing with Liv. Liv gets to defend the tag titles at Mania, because we don't have a program for you right now because we're doing other things right now. It's.
Speaking of matches that shouldn't be on WrestleMania, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Gracias.
I think there's going to be a swerve in this match. And I think there's going to be a spot where Chad Gable comes out in the middle of the match and proves that
would be something.
That would be great.
It's not Chad Gable under the mask.
They could do something like that and build towards it. Build towards a bigger reveal. Because here's my thing. I don't think there's any way Ray wins. Because if Ray was going to win, this should have been a mask for mask match. Right?
And I think that's what they're building.
And then that's what we're building towards. I think we're building towards a mask for mask match. It ain't now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think whatever shenanigans comes through, it could be. Yeah, maybe there is like a fill-in. But who the hell are they going to get?
I said that last week, and it should be Rey Mysterio taking El Grande's mask off, but he's just got another El Grande mask underneath it.
What, like Ray Phoenix?
Yeah.
Take the mask off and he has another mask underneath.
I just feel like there's going to be some shenanigans in this match, whether it's Chad Gable coming out and not being the one under the mask, and
get the guy that was in the background. Getting hauled away. Yeah.
All right. What? We see a spot. El Grande Americano gets knocked out of the ring, crawls under the ring, Another El Grande Americano comes out the other side. We said that cable pop out.
Oh,
That's
what match was
what?
that? Someone
There's
did
a
that.
distraction.
No, the match I can remember. That's funny.
but
I'm buying into this now. I can see it working.
Mm-hmm.
well, there's this whole tattoo theory out there now that Chad Gable has these tattoos and El Grande doesn't, and it's just I don't know, but I agree. I think this is culminating to a mask for mask match. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe sooner than that, but I definitely think El Grande Americano wins. Ray's not winning this match. But I think there are going to be some shenanigans where
it's definitely shenanigans. There are definitely going to be shenanigans.
Because I mean, let's face it, Chad Gable is Kurt Angle 2.0.
Yeah.
So
True.
that's what it's feeling like, and I feel like they need to get him away from American Made too, and just let Chad Gable be solo for a while. But,
just don't bring back Shorty G.
Yeah, we don't need Shorty G. But what do you think, Sticks?
Yeah, I think I said last week, if we're gonna have a mask for match, Ray isn't losing a mask for mask match. So if we're gonna build up to that, Americano has whoever Americano happens to be at the end of the match, I guess he's gonna win.
I'm still trying to think of who they could put in there.
Double O says, I think the second of the two El Grande Americanos will get the win over Ray.
I'm telling you, I'm now thinking about that. I'm seeing the switch. The switch is happening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Put that down for Swerve there, Sticks. The switch is happening mid-match. He's going under the ring.
Right.
A different one's coming out, and we're somehow seeing Chad Gable pop up somewhere.
Whoever it's going to be, it's going to end up being, and they won't show this, but it's going to be whoever was that old man in that little vignette that they had there.
Gave him the mask.
Yeah,
it's going to be freaking Hoswoggle.
We know.
Gonna come out as little El Grande.
Yeah.
It's Drake Maverick.
Did you see they switched it where he's no longer being billed from the Gulf of America? It's now the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. I think that takes away from the
yeah, it's such a funny gimmick. Like it is.
Listen,
it's just
the whole thing is that's the whole point.
El Grande Americano will win, and you're right. The switch will come in.
All the headbands and overalls and denim that they got American made wear.
We were talking about Chad Gable last week. He put a lot of work in himself. You see how ripped he got?
Mm-hmm.
He's chiseled, more chiseled than he was before. I know, but now he's more chiseled than before. But hey, he's putting the work in it, to make his El Grande Americano freaking character come to life.
He went away for 3 weeks and came back.
I thought he was going to beat Gunther.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
I was cheering for it,
but
did not happen.
Gracias. So we're all in agreement that El Grande is going over.
I think so. I think so.
We think it's all going to be shenanigans, but different shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. Up next, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Yes. This is so. I was going to say the Bianca Belair Rita hasn't fought yet. They fight the second night. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they fight night 2. Yeah.
All right. So I actually think Naomi wins this match due to interference of somebody in a hood, in a mask, or like a hoodie or something like that. You don't know who it is. You find out the Monday night later on it's Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair is going to lose to that match. But I'm just saying, I think she helps.
Well, there goes Dom spoiling his Sunday night pick.
No, I already got this. Yeah, no. So I think Naomi wins this against Jade Cargill with the help of a mysterious person that turns out to be Bianca Belair, who was the
Oh, you think Bianca's gonna come out like incognito
the night before?
Yeah,
her own match. She's going to come out incognito.
Yes, incognito. You're not going to know who it is,
and not do a reveal. We're not going to get a reveal at this
moment. You're not going to know who it is. She's
who was that masked woman with all that hair?
She's gonna come in and she's gonna come out in an El Grande Americano mask.
Yeah,
you're not gonna know who it is.
No, and my nephew, Cargill all day. I think Naomi wins because you want the feud between her and Bianca Belair. It's gonna happen. She was the orchestra.
Tom, the only way this works is if it's got somebody with a hood, and then the Monday Night Raw after it was like, well, I'm bringing out my hooded friend, and it ends up being Sasha Banks. If it ain't Sasha Banks, which ain't gonna happen,
no,
it ain't worth doing.
I'm telling you, man. Bianca Belair is.
I know where you're going with this, and if they go that route, I'm not opposed to Bianca being a heel and helping, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah, you know what? I'll do one better. Asuka and Sally Sane.
Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie Sane. They made posts.
Sami Zayn. He's now in the women.
They made posts on Twitter when they were playing around this night that they were behind the thing with her. Say if they come out, that they're the ones that actually helped Naomi orchestrate this. That puts Neo Sky in the mix of this things too. Because they're supposed to be with Neo Sky.
EO's
getting.
She's getting the cheers. She's getting the baby face cheers. Right
now. No, that's what I'm trying to say. So I think that she's gonna eventually have her friends turn heel on her because she's getting the baby face thing.
So that friends around forever though.
Yeah, but I know, but I think that story connects. That they have to connect stories, and I think that. But me personally, I still think Bianca Belair is the orchestra of this whole thing. But we'll see.
You're making things too convoluted.
Nope. Naomi wins.
Jade's gonna win. They're gonna end this little bit here between the two because we need to go somewhere else after this. We can't carry this on forever. This shit went on long enough already. This has to end now. This has to be the end of this thing. We can't take it anymore. Months of like, oh, we've been texting her. Yeah, I don't care how hurt you are. You can respond to a text if you know who the fuck hurt you. Like,
oh yeah.
If you know who attacked you, you can say, I know who hit me, who pushed me. Like, I don't know. Jade's just winning. We're gonna finally end this. I'm not saying this is the last we see of Naomi on the weekend, but Jade wins.
Sticks.
Can I say I don't care? I really don't care who wins this.
Come on, this is the first non-stipulation, non-title women's match on WrestleMania
in months. I'm gonna go Naomi winning. I think she'll do something to like either something extra. She'll either have something extra or do something extra to be able to beat Jade. And I don't think she can beat Jade straight up. Either.
You think she's going to win with that move where she throws Jade in the ropes and just jumps up, does a split, and Jade just runs into her ass, and then that just knocks her out.
Hey, you leave the rear view alone, all right?
The rear view, the rear view is going to take everybody out.
I guess. But yeah, then we'll talk about night 2 with Bianca later. But I'll take Naomi in this match.
I agree with what Pete said. This is one that we've had to build, and it doesn't need a title, but I think it needs to come to an end. This is Naomi's first WrestleMania as a singles competitor. I think it's a good person because Jade still is kind of green a little bit. I think Naomi is going to put her over big time and make her look really good. I think Jade picks up the win, but I do think Bianca Belair comes out to be as in the third piece in this. I don't necessarily know if she's going to be attack Jade, but I think she comes out in a way where she shows support for Naomi because Jade's already said, I don't trust her ass either. So there's going to be something where they're going to build towards the Bianca versus Jade feud. And I think they could do so here. But I do see Jade winning this match. I don't think she's going to lose to Naomi.
Okay.
Fair enough. Good.
I disagree with you, Dom.
I disagree with.
No, I agree with you in the sense that
I know you agree with the sense, but I understand.
But I don't think she's going to be hooded. I think she's going to come out and just be like, the pivotal third piece in this. And because she's choosing to side with Naomi over Jade, then I think Jade's going to take that as a slap in the face, and Jade's going to go after her after that.
Okay.
And then we got LA Knight, versus Jacob Fatu.
Okay, Fatu. LA Knight retains due to solo interference and starts the feud with Jacob Fatu.
Wow.
Solo can't do anything right, including interfering properly in a match. So he might try to interfere, but he ain't gonna cost.
He's gonna cost the match. He's gonna cost. He's gonna cost goddamn Jacob Fatu the match.
He ain't gonna cost him the match. He's taking the belt from LA Knight. And
the question
he's gonna end up being a face after this. Well, the question, I hate you, Solo.
The question is, where does LA Knight go after this? If he loses this championship, where does he go now?
Raw.
You think he's gonna go to Raw to go after Jay for the title?
Maybe.
Because he's not gonna. He ain't going after Cody.
Who, Solo?
No, he ain't going after Cody.
No, LA Knight.
Oh, LA Knight.
If LA Knight loses, where's he go from here?
LA Knight either
goes into the Intercontinental mix over on the Raw side of things.
So he goes from one mid-card belt to the next?
Yep.
LA Knight and Ethan Page, part of Rock Stable, Tag Team Championship.
Why would they be Rock Stable?
Rock is going to have a stable. Rock is getting the stable.
Why are you picking LA Knight and Ethan Page?
Ethan Page, your new tag team champions right there, coming soon.
You heard it here first. Sticks, who you got?
I've got Fatu winning. I like LA Knight, but I think Fatu needs. I think they want to have him have a belt, and I think this is going to be the belt he gets first. So. I don't know if Solo's gonna do any kind of shenanigans. I kind of agree with Pete. He can't do anything right, but I got Fatu winning.
I love you, Solo.
Yeah,
I hate you, Solo.
I'm taking Jacob Fatu as well. I think he's going to be a big star, and they want to give him a big push in the next year, and they can kind of go back to the bloodline stuff a little bit with him because he'll be the only champion at that point, so he can kind of stake some claim. 00 says Fatu for the win. I think Jacob Fatu takes this. I don't think Solo gets involved because I honestly think Solo is going to get punted in the head by Randy Orton Friday night on SmackDown. I think there's going to be something happen, and Solo's going to come out and confront Randy again, and Randy's going to punt Solo in the head. Or they're going to potentially have a match where Nick Aldis is like, "Oh, you're not going to have us." I could see Nick Aldis saying, "You're not having a match on WrestleMania. That's done. You're going to fight Solo Sikoa tonight." Randy Orton punts Solo Sikoa in the head, taking him out. And then the next night, at Saturday night, at some point, Randy's going to storm the ring and demand a match. And we're going to get an impromptu Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton match for Sunday. But, I don't think Solo's getting involved because I think he's going to get kicked in the head. So I think Jacob Fatu is going to take this clean over LA Knight. But that just makes me question where LA Knight goes from here.
Yep.
That's my one hesitation of if you take the belt off LA Knight, where does he go from here? But I definitely think they want to put a belt on Fatu and they want to do it sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, what is that LA Knight ceiling? I don't see him as
That's my question. He's not
the next company Gold, or you know what I mean? He's kind of where he's supposed to be.
Then I think our co-main event for the night will be Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's SmackDown Championship.
I do not want Charlotte Flair to win. If she does, nepotism is an all-time high.
No, that won't be the reason why she wins if she wins.
Yeah.
It's not just the nepotism. It would build a lot of opportunities.
Charlotte Flair is going to win. It's there. There's three things there's three guarantees in life: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning a championship after coming back from injury.
Yeah, but I don't know, because was she 16-time champion? Is it going to be, what is she?
I think she's only 14.
No, 14? She's 14. They don't count the 14. NXTs.
Oh, 14. Okay, she's 14. And if she wins, it'll be 15, right?
Yeah, don't mistake it. I don't want Charlotte Flair to win. I think Charlotte Flair winning is the worst choice, but she doesn't know how to put over another champion. Her time, I really think, is coming to an end. I really think that she might benefit from like a Roman Reigns type run where she goes part-time and she's a part-timer for a while. She loses and becomes a part-timer for a while and goes away a little bit and only makes her, people hated Roman Reigns. And then when he went part-time, when he came back, he was more special. But it just feels like Charlotte doesn't know how to put anybody over. She's like, damn out, nearly refuses to put over any talent. So the minute she came back and won the Royal Rumble, I was like, she's winning this title. We called it during the Royal Rumble. I saw nobody else winning the Rumble but her the minute she was announced. And same thing here is this feud has not blown up. It's become petty. Charlotte doesn't know how to put over young talent. She was basically refusing to. So she's gonna win this match.
She's not going to give her the belt though. Here's why I tell you they're not going to. They wanted to. That was the initial plan. I think they wanted to. They were hoping they could get over, make her a face, get the crowd behind her, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And I don't think at this point they don't want 50, 60, however many people end up being at this actual show, just booing the end result of this. And not in a good way, just in a... That said, I don't think that Charlotte's done in any frame of, stretch of the word. I think it's just she'll lose until she wins Money in the Bank and just be that annoying, I have this cash in and I'm going to use it at some point, and that's how I'm getting my next notch on my belt title, is by cashing in the Money in the Bank, which has been used against her previously. That's where I think she's going. I think she's going to win the Rumble and Money in the Bank in the same year. But Tiffany's going to win this, but eventually lose the title. But I think the initial plan was for Charlotte to win, but I don't think they're going to do it now. I think they're pivoting.
I'm giving it to Tiffany. I want Tiffany's going to win, and that's going to make freaking Charlotte even more upset and pissed off. Yeah, she win Money in the Bank. I can see that winning Money in the Bank and tormenting Tiffany throughout the year. Is she going to cash? She's going to do this and that. And remember, Tiffany's going to be looking over her back because she's the one that won. She had the Money in the Bank for so long, and she held it. And so I can see that being a feud on and off throughout the entire year.
Yeah. Plus we might get title switches, brands. We might see champs move.
Yeah, true. So
Sticks, what do you think, bud?
I don't want Charlotte to win, so I'm not going to pick her. I'm picking Tiffany.
Stiffy time.
I don't think we can't afford to have Charlotte lose again, because when she comes back, she's gonna look like somebody incredibly different again.
Right.
So
she's coming back as a different person each time.
She's gonna come back looking like her father.
Well, this was a Sabrina Carpenter versus Cher match. This is the one where wasn't Jordynne Grace. This was the Sabrina Carpenter Cher match
versus Cher. Versus Cher. I know that.
Yeah. So Tiffany's gonna retain. It's gonna be a hell of a match. I still think it's gonna be a hell of a match, but I got Tiffany retaining.
as much as I want to see Tiffany retain, I just don't see it happening. Like I said, there's just something about Charlotte Flair coming back from injury, winning a title, getting injury, losing said title, and it's just like this revolving
getting a new
door with
face
her.
and then getting a divorce. I saw that thing too.
Yeah, coming back. No, I didn't see anything about the new face and divorce, but I just saying, like,
it was
that's it. Like,
wins title.
she gets injured, leaves, comes back, wins title. I think that's what's going to happen here too. As much as I don't want to see it happen, as much as I want to see Tiffany retain,
new face.
I'm going to say Charlotte Flair. I'm going for the belt. I cut a promo on Pete saying I'm coming for the belt. I'm going for the belt. I'm taking Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't want to, oh God, I don't want to.
I don't want it either, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think that's what they wanted to do. I'm just saying. I think they're pivoting now.
I think Charlotte's taking it. I just do. All right.
There's still other ways. That's because, like I said, there's still other ways for her to get her other titles and other title shots.
Now we get to the match where I'm sure Dom's pulling out his cork board with the strings and his conspiracies, and he's ready to go to work. We got our triple threat: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
And how Dean Ambrose is going to show up and
closing out night one of WrestleMania.
And Jungle Jack Perry's going to come back and punch CM Punk in the face.
No, listen. This is how it's going to turn out.
I'm waiting.
Give me a second. It's as the night progresses, all of a sudden you're gonna hear dum 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 freaking Brock Lesnar's theme music. Brock Lesnar doesn't come out. Seth Rollins used that as a ploy to distract what's going on. He wins. And later on reveals.
So you're saying Seth's gonna come out in Brock's little shirt?
No.
In his gloves?
No.
He's gonna come
No.
Seth dressed like his Shield character. Come out dressed like Brock.
Seth is gonna have Paul Heyman play the music. And they're gonna think, what the hell, what's up? Distraction. That's Seth Rollins wins, and freaking Paul Heyman turns face on freaking both Punk and freaking goddamn Roman Reigns, and becomes the wise man to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets Paul Heyman.
Yeah, but what's Paul going to do to actually interfere in the match?
No, Paul's gonna freaking goddamn betray Roman and the freaking and Punk by freaking siding with Seth.
But how? I'm just saying, practically, what's he going to do to interfere in the match? Apart from
low blow Roman Reigns.
Belt in. Like, he usually throws a belt in, but there's no belt involved.
Well, you know what? You probably low blow Roman Reigns, or spray something in Roman's eyes like he did the last time with Brock Lesnar. Spray in his eyes. He gets distracted.
That's all I want. I just want to hear how he's going to.
Or, like I said, you're going to hear the music play, and that's going to distract both Punk and Roman Reigns.
Maybe Paul's going to come out in Brock's or UFC shorts and gloves.
Yeah. And the cowboy hat.
Going to be driving a tractor down to the ring.
Because Paul Heyman got tough on Seth over there. Don't touch me. Don't you touch me. And freaking Seth is pushing him. So I think that he turns heel on both these guys, and he sides with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins winds up getting him as the wise man. Seth Rollins wins.
I agree with you. As much as I want to see Punk win, and I think a lot of people want to see Punk win his first ever main event of WrestleMania, it's just truly a main event, because the main event would be the ending of WrestleMania. This is just the end of WrestleMania night one. So really, asterisk, because it's not a true main event. But I see Heyman portraying Reigns because Reigns left him to get put through a table by Solo.
Yep.
I see the return. We've heard all this talk about nicknames going away. Seth losing the freaking from his names. Well, I think that's going to happen because we're going to get the return of the architect, Seth Rollins. And I think he's going to align himself with Paul Heyman. But I think Becky Lynch is also going to come out and interfere in this match. It will be the return of Becky Lynch. She's going to do something to Punk for his comments. And I think we're going to get a power couple stable where both Seth and Becky are going to align with Paul Heyman. And now Paul Heyman and so we're going to have the first ever Paul Heyman woman in Becky Lynch, and Seth being the architect is going to be back with Paul Heyman. Seth's going to win, walk out. I think we're going to eventually lead down the road to another Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns match. And I think that's the best way to do it, is with, even if there's a way where CM Punk wins the match, but still Seth leaves with Paul, whatever it is, I think that's where they're building, is towards Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And I think Paul Heyman is the key factor in that. And Punk is going to move on and go feud with Jey Uso, or go feud with whoever wins the night 2 title match. But I think Seth Rollins wins this and walks out with Paul Heyman. I agree with Dom.
Nope. But go ahead, Sticks. I want you to go next.
I agree with Dom that Seth is going to win. I don't think Heyman's going to get involved in any way, but I think CM Punk and Roman.
Don't forget about Seth's favor that Paul now owes him.
Yeah, that's true.
And he keeps licking his lips every time he talks about Seth.
Well, I told you what that was for, Dom. He's ready for the all you can eat barbecue rib night.
You please don't say the name Paul Heyman and women in the same sentence ever again. Sorry, Terry.
Yeah, I got Seth winning. I don't know who he'll pin though. I'll say he pins Roman. Because
it's tough, isn't it?
Man, yeah, this was a toughie.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to give you a good thing, Sticks.
Because I don't want Heyman to be involved. I don't think there's a way to put Heyman in the middle, unless he's just standing on the end and distracts Roman. That's the only thing he could possibly do, is distraction.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this.
Doesn't got anything to throw in the ring. He doesn't have a belt to throw in the ring.
Or Roman gets knocked out and Paul's picking him up, and as he's picking him up, like Dom said, he sprays him in the eyes with something, or he low blows him to try and help Punk.
You have to look at it this way. Roman Reigns has never defeated Seth Rollins.
Not yet. And it's
exactly.
not happening.
Not yet. Exactly. So right now, Roman Reigns is about to lose everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but that's why the building of Seth is important, because now
this is what you guys are all missing. Seth doesn't need a build.
No,
Seth
he doesn't.
Lost many times at WrestleMania.
He doesn't.
He lost to Cody. Cody coming back. Seth is also going to lose here, because this is Punk's win. This is going to get the crowd cheering their CM Punk. Punk's going to win, and he's going to pin Seth. That's how it's going to happen. I know what you're thinking. You want Paul. Paul might eventually end up on the side of Seth Rollins. That might not happen till Monday.
Right.
I think CM Punk's winning this match in however kind of weird shenanigans of, I thought this finish was going to be that finish. At the end, it's going to be a GTS on Seth, who gets pinned again by Punk.
No, you see, you can't let him lose. You can't let him lose the Punk again. Can't.
Why? He lost Seth lost 3 times to Cody.
You can't.
Seth lost 3 times to Cody, including one goddamn arm.
I know, but Seth has to
didn't hurt Seth at all.
I know, but
Seth and Punk are 1-1. But I think Paul Heyman does something to Roman Reigns on the outside. Punk hits GTS on Seth. Punk goes for the cover. As the 2 comes down and we're going into 3, Paul Heyman's going to pull Punk off of Seth. And when Punk's going crazy on Heyman, it's going to allow Seth it's going to bring Roman back in with a Superman punch. Seth is going to hit Roman with a stomp. Then Seth's going to pin Roman for the win. And he's going to leave with Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Seth doesn't need Paul Heyman, but Seth also needs, there's got to be something else that elevates Seth to keep him around. And I think him having his own wise man does that, which then leads into his feud with Roman Reigns, and it makes that feud look bigger and more impossible for Roman Reigns as he conquers the last thing. Because Roman said in an interview, he's only got 2 years left, and then he's gonna walk away. So it's that last hurdle.
The fact that none of these guys need a wise man. Not any of these guys. A guy on Sunday might be able to use a wise man when he drops a belt and finds himself in a main event scene. But we'll get to that when you get to the Sunday. Okay. I think this is Punk's going to win. It's not going to be too much crazy shenanigans, too much interference. We're not going to see the crazy appearances here. I think they'll save them for later. But I don't know. I just see Punk winning this one.
So I'm Seth, Dom Seth, Sticks is Seth, and Pete's the only Cody. Punk.
I'm the only Punk.
We can all agree that Roman Reigns is not winning this.
Out of all of this crew, I am the biggest Seth Rollins fan. I just think he can take the loss, and he'll be fine.
That's true.
I mean, as much as I'm a huge CM Punk fan, and I'd love to see CM Punk win this, I just don't think it happens. I think Rollins walks out. This match is just made for him, but we'll see.
Yeah. I will say that the only person in this match that won't be able to take the loss is Roman, because he's lost the bloodline. He's lost. If he loses Heyman, that'll take him back. Maybe
Seth just takes everything from him, though. Then, because if he takes Heyman, he pins him at Mania. He beats him a fourth time. Yeah. Since Seth has never beat Roman, that just stacks everything up against the Seth and Roman feud.
Yeah, that's it.
Terry says, I don't know how. I haven't been keeping up lately, but there's going to be shenanigans.
I don't know. There'll be shenanigans. I think the three of them could just carry this one through without
shenanigans. Yeah. Terry says,
I'm going to pistol whip the next one of you that says
Punk wins off creative control.
Yeah, probably. We'll see.
All right, that's it for night one. Now we're going to night two, Sunday, and I think kicking us off on Sunday, we're going to have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I think that
AJ Styles wins. Outside interference, carrying cross. And you said it, Matt, in the prime bottle, in the skies.
You come out of the rafters?
Exactly. So that's it. AJ Styles is going to win this. And now what happens to AJ Styles after this, that's another story. We don't know.
I think this could easily be the match of the night. I think there's going to be a lot of high-flying spots.
Yep.
It's going to be a hard-hitting affair. There's going to be that viral moment that has in every Logan Paul match, but I think AJ Styles wins this. Could you imagine the record books and how much it would hurt AJ Styles' career if he went down with a loss to Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Like, it wouldn't matter a loss on a SmackDown or a Raw, but a loss to Logan Paul at WrestleMania for someone like phenomenal AJ Styles. At that point, you might as well just take the phenomenal out of his name and just call him AJ Styles.
Exactly. You're right.
I think AJ goes over Logan Paul with Karrion Kross in the prime bottle.
Yep. But we do agree that Karrion Kross will interfere in this match.
It was Karrion Kross with the prime bottle in the arena at WrestleMania.
There you go.
Sticks, what say you, my friend?
Yeah, I've got AJ winning. I too thought that Karrion would get involved. I don't know if he'll be in the prime bottle get up, but maybe he'll pull something out. But he will get involved somehow. Listen, Logan Paul has a good future if he keeps up with being in WWE. I think he does good things with his matches, but I think for this match, AJ's going to take the win.
Pete?
So did you guys all say who you thought was going to be in the prime bottle?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Omos. AJ Styles' former tag team partner, Omos. I mean, no.
He wouldn't even fit in that thing. That costume
I know, right?
That costume wouldn't even fit his leg.
Super Prime bottle.
Yo, he's gonna wear it. He wears a t-shirt. The Prime Bottle's a t-shirt. That's it.
No, I think I do think Logan Paul pulls this one out again with some shenanigans. Maybe we see some brass knucks. It's been done before, I know, but we'll probably see some sort of shenanigans here to kind of steal that win. I think we're going to see some great spots in this one. I think we're going to see a phenomenal forearm flying at Logan Paul, almost like the Ricochet, redone with them clotheslining each other in the middle of the ring, going from rope to rope. But this time it'll be a punch for forearm and Logan coming out on top.
Ooh.
I don't know who's going to be in the Prime Bottle, though. Maybe Jake Paul.
Not going to be Omos.
It's not going to be Omos. I just thought that
That'd be one big Prime Bottle.
I Show Speed comes and helps Logan Paul.
No, I don't think I Show Speed's coming back. I truly don't think he's coming back.
Unless it's one of those big blow-up Prime Bottles, it's not going to be Omos.
Unless he's demoing a new video game, he don't need to be anywhere near a ring.
Although I would love to see him like be backstage and Braun Breaker like cross paths him and like see him shit his pants, like literally shit his pants live on TV.
Pass out. Oh.
Yeah. But so again, so it's AJ Styles, Logan Paul. Pizza,
Yep.
Pizza odd man out. Interesting.
That's all right. That's good.
You were here, but you really think that AJ Styles' career and legacy could suffer that I lost Logan Paul on the record books at WrestleMania?
It wouldn't be a clean loss. That's the thing. He'll be
still a loss to Logan Paul. I don't know, man. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for you. Then we get Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in the Sin City Street Fight.
Who wants to go?
This is a hard one.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Drew McIntyre. Actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that. I'm gonna give it to Damian Priest. Damian Priest wins the street fight with help with Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny?
Why Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
You're wrong, and let me tell you why. Because it's going to be Drew. Because we're not going to lose the Drew momentum here. And not to say that Priest can't take it. It's going to be a street fight, so anything can happen. Some dirty deeds could even come into play here. But McIntyre's got to get himself back in the mix to probably challenge the winner of the later match at the end of this night. Because, he and Randy both made their intentions known. And I do think they got programs planned in the future.
Yeah, but I see Priest. Well, you know what? Priest did get the couple of minutes of fame last year, winning the belt off him in that. But you need Priest definitely needs a win like this.
Why?
For his credibility. Why? Because dude, he's fucking becoming a jobber if he doesn't win.
It is what it is. But do you see him in the main event picture anytime soon?
I don't see him in the main event picture anytime soon. But I see him at least winning, pulling this one out. With somebody
that's
helping.
why I think the winner of this match needs to have. They're going to find themselves in the main event picture soon. So that's why I think this match does kind of matter in a way. Not to say Priest can't come back from it. I just think, however it goes, unfair or not, the face is gonna, take the pin in this one.
I think Drew wins this. I agree. I think Drew wins this for another reason because you want to keep that momentum going, and you're going to have another Drew CM Punk feud later on this year, and I'll tell you why when we get a little later on. So pin that, but I think Drew picks up the win here over Damian.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that.
I'm not reluctantly, but I am picking Drew as well. I think that Damian
Squire.
I think he needs something more to do going forward. I don't think a feud with Drew McIntyre, like after this, will keep up. So, I got Drew winning on this match. Having someone in the stands maybe to interfere, but I think he'll pin him in the ring.
Who's going to be in the stands, Dix? Who's in the stands?
I don't think we need to see.
I don't think we need an interference in a street fight.
In the stands. I think we just need Drew going a little bit off the rails, a little bit over. I think we're gonna get like Seth popping out Ray's eyeball kind of thing going, where Drew goes a little too far, and we probably see Damien go on the shelf for a little while. Just give him some paid time off. We don't have plans for you right now. We'll write you off with a injury because you hurt Drew's eye, so now he's taking your eye, kind of thing.
Eye for an eye. Yeah.
Eye for an eye, exactly.
Oh, I
and
hope he's
gonna see.
I hope he
a brutal Drew and then Damien.
I like pirate Drew McIntyre. Yeah, maybe.
The Irish pirate.
Out full Captain Jack Sparrow.
Now listen, all I know is Damien Priest is taking this.
Or Scottish pirate.
You said Drew at first. You changed mid-sentence.
No, I said no because I changed mid-sentence because I said Drew first. But you know what? I'm thinking about it, man. Right. I truly believe in friggin' Damien.
The Archer of Infamy, huh?
Yeah. He's not going to be El Campeon anytime soon. All right, moving on to our women's tag team match. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley.
Can we move this one to the pre-show?
No.
Same thing with the New Day Viking Raiders. Let's just...
Yeah, I said that last week that they need to bring back a pre-show match. So
I don't think they're going to. But go ahead.
Not going to.
Go ahead. You go ahead. Pete.
Oh, for this one?
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a simple retain situation. Maybe they try to build off a Bayley. I've heard the rumors of a Bayley-Lyra feud, but I don't even see how that's going to work. Like, are you going to turn Lyra heel? Is that the way to go to make this work? I don't think that makes this work either. Again, I think they just got the match to give them something to do. These four, something to do this weekend. And the results don't matter all that much because I think they'll drop the tag team belts, not here, but to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, like I said before.
I think Bayley and Lyra win this match and win the titles, and then they're going to go and face Cora, Jade, and the Prodigy and reignite that feud between Roxanne Perez and Bayley.
Look, they can't hold on to those belts long because they're going to have Akira with the her championship belt. It's not fair. Is it the same thing that they should not be in Royal Rumble with the belt? They should be people who in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, you win the belt, you win the go for the championship, but also the last other two contenders can be the last ones to fight for the belt. Like the last three people that were in there give an opportunity to fight for the mid card belts. Look. Since Zoe and Baszler are throwing in the heat in Twitter and out this and that, and Liv is chiping back, I could see them trying to pop up to interfere in this match.
Why would they have to pop up? You just have Dom show up.
No, because Dom is already busy doing his thing. Dom is busy doing his own thing.
Attendees. What about Carlito?
Oh, Carlito, man. Carlito got fucking knocked out next Tuesday with freaking...
Carlito's dead. He had a funeral and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
He was back the next week, and he ran away from the spear.
I
know he did.
And he still got speared, though.
He got double speared, man. Him and Dom. No, but I think Liv and Raquel keep belts. And I think that the feud between Bayley and Vaquer is going to pick up a little bit more. Because
what feud?
There's going to be a feud. Come on, man. It's so
the one that started on Raw after Bayley lost and pushed her
aside. She didn't walk. She didn't want to shake her hand.
It's going to be an evil role model again.
I don't know.
Her heel turn didn't work. That's the thing. It's like Bayley's heel turn. I don't think it worked to a sense.
It worked, but
when the crowd is still chanting your "Hey Bayley" song and you're smiling and you just can't get the crowd behind you, the heel, and the crowd makes you a baby face by proxy, then it's
no.
I don't know. I don't think you need another.
Thing worked. She was pretty damn annoying there for a while. Ding dong.
Hello.
Yeah,
Look,
like that.
why
She
does-
was pretty annoying. And
Why does Raquel Rodriguez have that? What are you talking about, Willis? Look on her face.
what?
Does she get that look? Look at Raquel Rodriguez. That's what
Oh,
she
I
looks-
thought you were just talking about
No,
why she
no,
got the
No,
bandana.
she looks like she has that.
American
What
Badass.
she's talking about, Willis look. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, because she's wondering, why am I playing second fiddle to everybody around
Exactly.
here?
Why am I here?
Like, I was NXT Women's Champion. I was pretty dominant there for a while.
She was.
Now I can't even win a mid-card title that they don't even give a shit about.
All right, so I'm lost. Sticks, who do you got?
I've got Liv and Raquel.
Liv and
maintaining
Raquel.
the belts. Yep.
Pete's got Liv and Raquel.
Yep.
Dom, who do you have?
I got Liv and Raquel
Liv and
myself, too.
Raquel. So I'm the only one that's taken Lyra and Bailey. Okay.
Point being, all of us are looking ahead to the next match.
Yeah. We're looking past this. And
They should make this
Yeah.
the loser eats dog food match.
No, we're not doing that again.
Come on, man.
Dom wants mud wrestling, bikinis, and
Yeah.
dog food.
Oh, I thought we were going back to the Roman Reigns, the big dog, and
Oh.
we had Baron Corbin dumping dogs.
No, remember when freaking goddamn Ken Shamrock get the freaking dog food
Mr. Stiffy.
back in the day? Listen, I vote for bra and panties and mud wrestling matches for the women, but they don't
Those
want to
days are
pass
done,
that.
Tom. They're never coming back.
I know.
They're never coming back.
Just look back and smile on them fondly, Dom, because it's never happening again.
I know.
Yeah.
I
You can watch them
Oh.
on Peacock.
You know who I got in this match. So
Speaking of Dom, we've got Dirty Dom versus Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship.
listen, can I start with this one?
Go ahead.
Dirty Dom wins. Guess who helps Dirty Dom? JD. He comes back. Comes back to help Dirty, and that's what starts the feud between Dirty Dom and Finn Balor. He's gonna win the belt. He's gonna screw Finn Balor, and this is where Finn Balor is gone from the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom is winning this belt. I don't care. Penta, yeah, they want to give it to Penta. I don't think so. I think Dirty Dom is winning this. And JD is going to help him.
It's a bold statement, Cotton. See how it works out for you.
Mhm. I think, listen, I said the last couple of weeks, I think Penta wins this because Penta has all the momentum. WWE it's got a huge star in Penta. They want to see Penta with this title. But I think Dom's right. I think Dirty Dom's going to win this, but it's not going to be JD that helps him. It's going to be that questionable new member that he's trying to recruit. Who that new member is, I don't know. I don't want it to be Aleister Black. I don't want it to be a returning Rusev. But I think there's going to be a sixth member to Judgment Day that's going to help Dirty Dom win this match. I got to agree with Dom. Like, I've been on the Penta train, but I think as of the last couple of weeks, the way it's going, I think Dominic Mysterio wins this. Finn Balor will leave the Judgment Day. We're going to get a return of the Demon Finn Balor, and he'll be back in the championship picture by the end of the year. I think eventually Penta will beat Dom for the Intercontinental Championship. But I think Dom wins, man. I'm going to go with our own Dom that Dirty Dom wins this. As much as I want it to be Penta, I think Dirty Dom wins this. Can you imagine the arena when Dominic Mysterio wins this belt?
Yep.
Go ahead, Sticks.
I want to see Penta win. I'm not against Dom winning, and I don't think Finn's gonna win. I think they've done, and it can go either way that when you do it, but I think they've had a huge buildup with Breaker being so dominant, taking people out, being able to, spear when he's spearing everybody. I think he's going to retain, but I'm not going to be surprised if Penta wins. also. But I've got Breaker. I'm going to say Breaker retains, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Penta wins. Dom, if Dom wins, Dom, I don't know. I don't know. That'd be something special, I think, for him. Dom's not even down there. Where'd he go? He left.
He left.
Yeah, he left.
He left to go clean himself up because I agreed with him about Dominic Mysterio.
I think he did.
I mean, so. I see the benefits in having Dirty Dom win. Mm-hmm. I don't see Braun Breaker retaining. I think this will be his step out of the mid-card picture, and he'll step into the main event picture sooner rather than later.
With the help beat Jey Uso in like 2 weeks.
A wise man who might be helping him along. I personally would like to see Finn actually win this. But even though I'm not against this, I think that's what's probably going to happen. And it's going to be something where Dom and Finn are going to turn each other, and Finn's going to end up outside of the Judgment Day. I mean, that's pretty much obvious that he's gone at this point from the Judgment Day. And yes, I could see Dom. I mean, the Dom winning, it's not that far of a reach. I could see it definitely happening, and yes, Penta eventually taking it from. I don't know. Braun's not going to be involved in the pin. He's not eating the pin. He's going to lose the belt without getting pinned to save face. So again, he takes that step up to the next level, which is where he needs to be soon anyway. I just kind of want Finn to win. I've always liked Finn Balor, but I just don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think Finn eats the pin in this.
And I think he probably is, and it's gonna be Penta pinning him.
You think Penta's gonna win it?
I do. I don't think he should. I don't actually want it to. I do like Penta. I don't think he should get a belt this soon, but I think they might do it to give him singles gold and show returning things. Hey, look.
I think Braun drops his title, and he's gonna be fighting Jey Uso in a matter of time, and he's going to beat Jey Uso for the title and become heavyweight champion. But him and Heyman is very interesting. It's very interesting.
Hey, Heyman made it a point to be hanging out with him is way back in NXT too.
Yeah, that would make it interesting. I agree with that.
But as much as I want Zero Fear to win, I think Dirty Dom.
And unlike the other three that we mentioned in the Saturday Night main event, they don't need help talking. Not to say Braun needs help talking, but he could use help talking.
Yeah, he could.
He could.
And that brings us to our Women's World Champion Triple Threat match, which is our co-main event of the night. I think Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair.
Yeah, my girl Io's keeping it. She's keeping the belt.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Didn't think so, but I agree.
I think the Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair definitely is going to have a little feud there until we actually find out that Bianca Belair was behind the whole Jade Cargill thing. It's going to be a big riffle with the Rhea Ripley and Miss Neck. I think Rhea Ripley is going to find it's. Let's put it this way: Rhea Ripley's still going to be in the mix with this whole thing, but Io is keeping the belt because they're not going to just. I can see they can do whatever they have to do, whatever they want to do. But she's going to have a feud with her old friggin' bandmates that are coming back. That's going to be the big thing with the Io Sky, and she's keeping the belt, and that's going to be the feud.
I'm surprised you didn't say that Jade Cargill is going to come out and take out Bianca for costing her the match the night before in her hooded.
Yeah, in her hoodie
sweatshirt.
Well, you know what? That could be the whole thing too. Like I said, but I don't know. I know that Bianca is definitely going to interfere with that the Jade Cargill match.
Here's the thing. In my head, even though it's only been like 3, maybe this would be the 4th WrestleMania for Bianca Belair. In my head, I was saying, you know what? They're going to probably build Bianca up for like a Undertaker style WrestleMania run of victories, but on the women's side of things. But then I started watching how they've been building this match, they've just been, apart from the pie facing Io over and over again. I think that's just too much of a tell that they're overlooking. I think they're going to save Rhea versus Bianca 1-on-1 for another
Backlash.
another 3-4 years. I think we got before we actually get that face off, because they don't want to waste that. That's a Mania on its own, 1-on-1. So you can't have either one of them beat the other. So why not let the champ retain? She's already got the crowd on her side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still plenty of opportunities for other women. Like Dom said, there's other people who can come back. There's other matchups to be had. She's only had the belt a short time. I think Io retains. And we save this Rhea Bianca thing for a much later date. It will come, but not yet.
What do you think, Sticks?
I've also got Io retaining. And I think she's gonna pin. I think she'll end up pinning Bianca, because having Rhea, Rhea's it's a loss, I guess, but it won't be a 1-on-1 loss to Io like it's been in the last couple times. And then I believe I had Naomi coming in on this match. Yeah, not Jade, to interfere with Belair.
It's possible.
Yeah. I agree with Pete. I thought for sure Rhea Ripley would win this match, but I think they're going to save Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair 1-on-1 to next year WrestleMania. I think Io wins this just because she's been the afterthought, and I think she's going to win, and she's going to go be out on some Raw on Monday night, and that's when a debuting Stephanie Vaquer is going to come out and challenge her for the title, and Stephanie's going to win the title from her on the Raw after Mania. So, but I think Io wins this match and retains, and I could see Bianca. I could see Naomi or Jade Cargill getting involved in this, taking out Bianca, and Bianca being the one that eats the pin.
No, come Monday, we're going to be asking, are we ready for Asuka?
Yep. I don't think she's cleared to come back yet. And she's having all those problems with their stalker or whatever.
Smoke screens, my friend.
You think so?
Smoke screens. She'll come back with her Oni mask.
You're a Dom, huh? You think Asuka's going to come back and turn on Io?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Are you ready for Asuka? But yeah.
Nobody's ready for Asuka.
Yeah. No, I don't think, but Sticks, I don't think Belair can eat the pin in any way. It's still going to be Rhea.
You think Rhea's going to take the pin?
Yep. And I think she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine, but
you build towards it. You'll eventually get her win over Io. Eventually.
But I think if we have interference from Jade and Bianca eats the pin, it gives you a way for a Jade Bianca match as well.
I
at SummerSlam.
Out of everyone in the WWE, I don't know if there's anybody else who will probably be as protected as Bianca on the women's side. Like, as far as at least on the women's side, like she's not. I don't see her eating the pin.
Yeah, as much as I didn't like Io's first run. I thought it was kind of boring, and I kind of feel like this run is shaping up to be the same. And that the only reason she's staying interesting is because Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair are making her an afterthought. I do see her kind of losing the title in the same way she won it on a Monday Night Raw or something. I don't know, but I do see her coming out of Mania the victor.
Nah, I think we got it. Well, again, we got to give her some feuds. We got to give her some matches.
I might push her to lose again at like that Saturday Night Main Event.
Terry says Io needs a clean win after all the disrespectful stuff towards her leading up to this. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I don't know. I don't know if we see Asuka coming back, but we'll see. And that leads us to our main event of WrestleMania. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus a returning, well, I want to say returning Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, but as far as we know, just heel John Cena. Who do you boys got? Here we go. Get your boards out ready. Here comes Dirt Sheet Dom to tell
here we go.
all his conspiracies about
say
The
John
Rock
Cena
and his
wins.
like 15-man stable now.
Yep. Fucking John Cena wins. The Rock is definitely going to be involved, and Travis Scott will be there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be John Cena's going to win with the help of The Rock's newest stablemate.
Which one? You gave
Which
him
one?
like 9. LA Knight and Ethan Page, and who else is a part of this stable, Dom?
Listen,
I'm listening. Tell me. Who?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to come and help.
I mean,
John
Rock
Cena
would
win
lose
his
both
17th
champions, then it's not. I can see it, but
The Rock will have both. The Rock will have both champions on both brands as his corporate champs.
So you're telling me
Listen to me.
that Jey Uso, after finishing his story, stepping out of his tag team twin brother's shadow to win the big prize on his own, is then going to turn on his former tag team partner, who he also held gold with, who wasn't his brother, in Cody Rhodes.
It's all been written in the stars, man. It's all been written there already. It's in front of you. All in front of you.
Help The Rock?
Yep.
That don't make no sense.
Listen, it doesn't have to make sense. It will happen.
That's true.
I don't see it.
who do you got, Pete? What do you see happening?
You're not gonna like it, so I don't know if I should go last because I don't think anybody's gonna like what I'm gonna say. Because what I think is, I feel like the build here with heel John Cena was just for this match, right? I mean, we couldn't have babyface versus babyface. Nobody wanted that, so somebody had to turn heel. Thought it would be Cody for a little bit. Maybe he would accept the Rock's offer. Then they said, well, John will do it. Let's let John do it. Realistically, has John Cena done anything that he can't come back from? No, right? I mean, he said some dumb shit to the crowd, but all it'll take is some possible shenanigans, some sort of interference that he doesn't see that he wants to take. I think Cody retains. I think Cody retains, and I don't think it makes sense to take the belt off of him. I know Cena is got to get his 17th, but he's got to get his 17th as a face again. And I think he has to switch back after not accepting the help, even though he was going to take it. He'll get to the point where he can take it, but he won't. They'll end up with the shaking of hands at the end of this, hugging, friends again. Maybe he'll beat some heel who takes a belt off of Jey Uso, or whatever heel. If Drew somehow takes the belt off of Cody somewhere between now and then. Point being, when John wins his 17th, he's got to get cheered, not booed. That's the way it's got to be. And it doesn't have to be at Mania. It could be at SummerSlam. It could be at Survivor Series of all things. It doesn't matter. It'll come later. Point being, I think Cody holds on to it at now, and I think we see Cena go back. Because again, I think that's also why we haven't seen him on TV a lot. They didn't want too much heel heat going into this. I think they wanted too many opportunities that they couldn't walk back. So it's lame. I know. It's lame, but that's how I see it going.
Sticks, what you got, my man?
So I've got Cody retaining. Cena's going to get his belt down the road. I think something more will end up going into, because I've got him going through and winning.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I got him going to Money in the Bank, getting Money in the Bank.
What I was thinking.
Going up against Cody again, or whomever, I guess at that point, and winning the belt there after who cash in his Money in the Bank, either that night or the next PLE.
Oh shoot, I forgot. My son told me his picks. He did think Cena was going to win this one.
He thought Cena was going to win?
He had Cena, Bianca, Charlotte. Who the hell else did he have? I think he had Fatu. Anyway, if I think of any more, I'll rattle them off. I forgot. I told him I was going to say his picks.
Okay.
Here's the thing. All right. Pete and I have talked about this, and I think Dom and all of us really. It makes it more interesting for Cena's last run for him to be chasing something, and for him to lose this match and then go and automatically put himself in Money in the Bank, win Money in the Bank, and then do something that's very un-Cena-like and cash in that night to win his 17th without telling anybody I'm going to do this ahead of time. He just cashes in.
Oh, I don't think that's how he'll do it. I think he'll
17.
do it of like, I'm cashing in at the next PLE. Like he'll be the honorable guy when he does cash in.
But I think, realistically, if we're not having Dwayne around, WWE needs this looming big bad, this mega big bad, Thanos level big bad, dark side level big bad to carry him through. I think Cena wins 17 at Mania. Cena's going to beat Cody at Mania for 17. And they've already showed all these extra dates that they've added for Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So it leads me to believe Cena's going to win, and he's going to be that. You're going to go through the summer of him being that big bad, like unbeatable force. And he's going to feud with Drew McIntyre. He's going to feud with Randy Orton. He's going to feud with CM Punk. They're going to hit his big feuds. He'd probably even feud with Edge, aka Cope, if he was still in WWE. But
Cope.
I think it's going to go down to the wire with Cena being a heel, and he's going to win that championship and walk away. Like he's going to get mad heel heat, and that's when his heel turn's really going to pick up.
He's going to take the belt home with him.
Yeah, and I think Cody Redemption wins it back from Cena at the end of the year. And that's when, Cena can be faced with someone from The Rock, or when Cody beats Cena to be that next guy, that's when Cena's going to raise his hand and shake his hand and turn back face and ride off into the sunset as a face.
Sure.
But I think we're going to get the majority of the summer as heel John Cena as WWE champion.
So Cody will be chasing him again.
Yeah.
And he won't give him his rematch forever, like somehow.
Yeah, and he's gonna feud with Punk. He's gonna feud with McIntyre. He's gonna feud with Randy. Hit those high spots, those big feuds he's had, and then come back to Cody, and Cody will win it from him. As Cena is maybe even as far as Ruthless Aggression that they're gonna announce later this year as his final pay-per-view in Boston is what the rumor is. Cody wins it off in there. Cena shakes his hand. They raises his hand, and Cena rides off into the sunset as a face again. But I think we get the majority of the summer with heel John Cena.
I could see the heel John Cena run for a little bit, but at the same time,
to right now his heel turn hasn't worked. He came out, he turned heel. He came out, he hasn't said anything about it. He bitched about being undervalued. He bitched about the crowd. It wasn't until Cody Rhodes hit him with that crossroads that this really felt like a WrestleMania build and feud. And that's why I think tomorrow night on SmackDown, we have to not see what happens. Cody just needs to be found laying in the backstage area, pull his own blood, just beat down to where we don't even know if Cody's
here's my question.
Tonight too.
Does Cody need to be put over again?
No, I feel like they need to build John Cena to be this unstoppable.
No, I get that, and I get that. I'm buying in on your storyline of Cena being the unstoppable big bad, but does it need to be Cody again to slay the beast? Is what I'm saying. Like
it could be
Roman.
Punk.
Does he need to be put over yet again? Is it overkill at this point?
I think at this point though, their whole emphasis on this feud has been the face of the company, the guy who can carry it forward, the Superman, if you will, and I think that him doing that is Cena passing that torch to Cody to be the guy.
I'm just curious. I was just curious. I mean, I see it. I can
he's
see
not
that.
Good enough time. I see going home. Okay. But that's just what I think. I think Cody gets that rub from Cena to be the guy, the next big face, the next John Cena, because that's what their whole promo has been. Whole thing has been like Cody literally went through all the championship belts and stuck on the spinner belt for a long time. I can see John Cena winning 17, bringing back the spinner belt, and I think he's going to do it as the Doctor of Thugonomics.
We still haven't even talked about if Stone Cold comes back, comes in.
I don't think that,
or even I know that Ric Flair can't because he's still in the contract with AEW, but you don't know what the situation is. But John Cena is winning the 17 belt. There will be something, and I'm telling you, like I said, that Jay Uso will help him win that belt.
I don't know where the hell you're getting Jey Uso helping.
Hey, listen, both champions, man. Both champions will be on the Rock's banner. That's what the Rock wants.
See, Dom's going back to when Travis Scott came out with him smoking his blunt.
Came out with Jey Uso in the crowd. And he's friends with Jey Uso. That's 20. He was number 20 in the Royal Rumble. He got that.
Yeah,
and,
Tom. He was also in the car for the Atlanta pay-per-view with Cody, wasn't he? And then he went and turned on him and slapped him and busted his eardrum.
He came out smoking a joint with Jey Uso, and I think if Travis Scott shows up in this, Cody Rhodes has got to get his retribution. Like Cody Rhodes has got to hit him with that payback.
Oh yeah.
But I think Cena wins 17, man, and that's when we really kick off the fuel of his heel turn. Is after he wins 17 at WrestleMania, and then it's Cody chasing him.
Yeah, Travis Scott ends up in that ring. It's going to be, the kick to the
Atlanta
stomach.
Cody was Metro Boomin.
Oh, was it Metro Boomin? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but he's going to do the kick to the stomach, the drop down, slap to the face, and then probably a Cody cutter off, bouncing off the rope is how he'll take out Travis.
Yeah.
And I love Cody. I'm a huge Cody fan, but I just think Cena takes 17 at WrestleMania. And him being the big bad and just running roughshod over WWE all summer as a heel to turn face right before he rides off in the sunset, I think is a perfect way to end his WWE career.
Yep.
But Dom might be onto something.
He's
with
not.
The Jey Uso thing.
He's talking crazy again, folks. Don't buy into the nonsense.
Yo, I'm not crazy. I'm an intellectual. I have insane
comic relief. Hulk Hogan shows up wearing polka dots and waddles out to the ring. I would go into the Stone Cold theory because there is that theory that Rock's going to get involved and Stone Cold's going to come out and help Cody. And I still could see that happening, but we haven't heard anything about The Rock. We don't know what's going on with The Rock. So I'm going off that The Rock isn't going to be there. There's been no mention of him in the promos. There's been no mention of John Cena selling his soul in the promos. It kind of feels to me like that storyline's done and gone. And it's just heel Cena
just like
versus
the happy-go-lucky Rock at January 1st, where he's thanking everybody, and then he decides, "So I'm going back the other way."
See, look it up. I watched the video where Jay shouted out that Travis Scott asked him to make a pair of Yeet sneakers. Telling you, just saying, man. It's just those little things, those little world building.
What little things?
You know what?
Yeet sneakers.
You already had how many goddamn music people are coming out? Because you said Bad Bunny was coming out to help Damian Priest too.
Hey, listen. In the world of
Who's
wrestling,
Nicki Minaj coming out to help?
listen. In the world
Kelly
of
Roll's
wrestling,
coming back out to help
you
Drew
can
McIntyre.
you can throw anything out there in the world of wrestling.
I know you can.
Dom's got about 19 people joining the Rock
But you
stable.
can't throw everything out because not everything can happen.
Hey, you take shit and throw it against the wall. If it sticks, possibility. I'm just trying.
We ain't making spaghetti.
Dom's going to come out. Dom's not really going to South Carolina. He's going to Vegas so he could come out and be part of the Rock stable.
Yeah. I wish, but unfortunately, I have to get up soon. I got to shower, change, still pack, and we're leaving the house by 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, well, when you're grabbing that shower, rethink your crew of Ethan Page, LA Knight, and Jey Uso following a Rock around. I'm like, what is this ragtag bunch you formed on our show tonight?
Yo, The Rock.
That will double down on that.
The Rock, remember on NXT when he ran into Ethan Page? And he talked to Ethan Page, he smacked him on the ass. See you on the main roster. So I'm telling you, those little things make you think, because The Rock 20 steps ahead of everything. The little little tidbits.
No,
mean something. Yes.
No.
Yes.
He does things. He does no plan behind them, and then they try to retcon and figure out a way for it to make sense 3 months later because he hasn't done shit since.
All right.
To contradict it.
Right. It is my time now. My time is now.
Yeah. He's just gonna eat a whole tray of sushi and drink some Terramana, and it's cheat day.
Sushi.
I don't know.
Like I think you would have seen some, unless something comes out on tomorrow night where it's like Rock's en route to Vegas.
Yeah.
Everything could change if The Rock shows up, but right now what we get is what we got. And like I said, the only thing we don't know about is Randy Orton, whether he's going to face a returning Rusev, whether he's going to face a returning Aleister Black, or whether he's going to face Nick Aldis. We don't know.
Or solo.
I think it's going to be a lame solo match, which sucks.
Yeah.
I hope not. I really hope he punts Solo in the head tomorrow night. But
I kind of feel bad for Solo. I got nothing against Solo. I feel he's done what he could do. I feel like
he's done it poorly,
which wasn't much.
I mean, the street champ. I don't know,
but that's it. That is our WrestleMania preview, match predictions. Let us know in the comment section below what you think is going to happen at WrestleMania. Who you think is going to win, Rock or Cody, but Cody or John Cena. Double says, I hope The Rock doesn't show up, but he's too much of an egomaniac to stay away.
I don't know.
We'll see. Join us Saturday right here for our potential WrestleMania Night 1 watch along and live reaction. So where we reacting live to see who's winning in the points and who's going for that title and who's going to come out at the end of the weekend holding that points title. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Pete. Make sure to check out everything going on Renovision. You can check out Sticks and Dom over on Renovision on Friday nights on the Qualified. You can check me out over on Renovision on Saturdays as part of Saturday Night Special. You can check out all of Pete's shorts throughout the week and on the TAC on Wednesdays nights, as well as the CBSI Hot 10 on Friday nights before Sticks and Dom on the Qualified.
Still got a list to put together.
Oof. Better get to cracking on that.
I'll get to it.
And that's it for this week's episode of Off the Mat. Dom, send us out some words of wisdom. And as long as it has nothing to do with somebody else joining the Rock stable.
Listen, the words of wisdom. It is a very busy weekend. It's a holiday weekend, Easter Sunday, Passover. Everybody have a safe and healthy family time and a great time. Watch WrestleMania because a lot of great things will happen. Watch Star Wars Celebration, which is going on now. Watch Formula One. That's going to happen later. And listen, everybody, look, it's family time. Be good to your family. Love and always make sure that you always ask for that piece of bread in the middle of the table before you take it, because someone might whack you. Remember that.
Has Kathleen Kennedy joined the Rock stable yet?
Dom got her turn heel.
Have a great weekend and a safe and happy Easter Sunday and Passover, everybody. It should be a fun weekend. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone in the chat tonight. Thanks for Jumbalo and Terry for hanging out, and everyone else who stopped in. Have a great weekend. Enjoy WrestleMania. We'll see you back here next Thursday for all of the fallout from SmackDown, WrestleMania, and as well as NXT
Stand delivered.
and the Raw after WrestleMania, which is sure not to disappoint, especially on Netflix.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to